WeAreTottenhamTV here. Kickoff is nearly upon us. Apologies for the delay start. We have Forms in the building today, joining us, live saving the stream for you guys. A big up to Forms for coming and joining us. We have a Europa League conference playoff to look forward to at Villa Park in 3 minutes' time. Just before we get into the lineups, it's literally push for time. This video is sponsored by Circle. Circle is a live football sweepstake app where the deciding a winner is decided by what happens on the pitch. You could be a millionaire if you match all 5 numbers that are decided today on the pitch in all 5 games. It costs £2 to play, so get involved if you want to potentially be a millionaire. Circle is the place for you, so go check it out. Go and click the QR code if you want to see what it's about. But we do have a game that is going to kick off in a couple minutes time, and we'll run through the lineups with you for Tottenham. For the lineup, we have Fraser Forster in goal. We have a back three of Emerson Royale, Clement Longley and Christian Romero. The wing backs in Ben Davis and Pedro Porro, with Ollie Skip and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg in midfield, with the front three of Richarlison, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son up front. Unchanged from the Palace game, as you would expect after a very decent performance. And for Aston Villa, you have Emi Martinez in goal, Ashley Unconsa, Mings and Moreno in the back, Bailey, McGinn, Louise and Ramsey in midfield, with Ollie Watkins and Buendia up front.
Easy.
You can take Circle off. With the lineups, Lemon they are currently on the pitch now. So let me just get the game on. Forms. Are you like surprised that we're unchanged, given we had a good performance against Crystal Palace, and I think it worked for us, but it wasn't the best performance, but it was kind of like a controlled performance, wasn't it?
It was one of them where we changed. Well, I mean, we changed quite a bit without changing quite a bit. I think Mason's brought like a sense of calm, and we ended up taking 3 points. So why change that kind of thing? It's like the situation has been kind of held with a band-aid, and why not keep it there for as long as we possibly can in this battle for Conference League?
Well, you say Conference League. If we do get a win today, given Brighton have Arsenal tomorrow, it wouldn't put us in the worst position for a top 6 spot. It does give us an outside chance, I think, if we do get a result today. And I think that would be important, just to at least get a Europa League spot, because no one wants that Conference League, let's be honest. I hate that bloody Europa Conference League. I can't stand that competition, but I wouldn't be that. I mean, I would be underwhelmed. I wouldn't be that disappointed, at least if we can get a Europa League spot. But in terms of the manager situation, Nagelsmann is now out the window.
Yep.
Like, where do we go from here in this manager situation?
Honestly, I would put my house on it being Mason. It
looks like it, doesn't it?
Next year, and would I be pissed? Yes, considering we had Nagelsmann right in front of us. But then again, is he gone? Like, is it completely out of the woodwork, or is it a case of he's turned around to the club and said, "You can't give me answers, I'm backing off," and the club's gone, "Well, okay, we're just going to tell people that we were never in the race in the first place"?
I think that's probably the situation at the moment. Just hold that thought, because Kickoff is seconds away.
Let's get it.
1 sec. You can turn that TV on. I don't know what the remote is. So we'll give you, we'll start the timer when Kickoff is upon us. So just give us a sec. And that's who's at Harry Kane. We've kicked off.
Let's go.
We've kicked off. Spurs kicking from right to left here at Villa Park. A sunny Villa Park as well. So let's see how Spurs get on. But as we were talking, I think you're absolutely right when you talk about Nagelsmann. I do think that he basically wants a good project he can believe in right now. And I think that we can't really offer that in our current situation. We're kind of like a mess, essentially. So what do? We basically, either we tell him we have all these big plans and we give all these promises, or we tell him, look, maybe we can't really promise all these kind of things. And I think it's the kind of thing like Nagelsmann. I think what's more likely happened is Nagelsmann's probably rejected us, and he's probably said, look, I don't think you're in the right place for me right now. And I think Tottenham, having heard that, have probably just put the PR statement out in the sense that
Levy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Trademark Levy to go, okay, I've got to like really back up here because I can't have everyone know the truth and I can't look bad, even though, mate, you look bad. You've looked bad for years.
I think, and I was on my Tottenham WhatsApp group yesterday, and by the way, Villa have a corner here after a minute. Please, not another one of these starts. Don't do this to me, Tottenham. Don't do this. Louise, he's going to play it short.
Not even short. That was
He's
just
played it. I don't know what he's
back
doing
to
there.
the halfway line.
Douglas Luiz is actually known for taking shots from corners, isn't he? He scored a couple of them this season. And Skip in the box. Here come Villa. Watkins away and Tottenham on a breakaway. And I think in a way, my friend made a great point that I think Spurs fans are clever enough to know that if Nagelsmann would have rejected us, we can understand it.
100%.
But to put out in their in their kind of not PR, not statement, but they put the feelers out to Ali Gold and Dan Kilpatrick or whatever to feed the information that Tottenham aren't interested in him. Like, how stupid do they think we are?
Yeah.
Oh, as if he's been our #1 target. He's the favourite for the job. Every reporter said we really want Richarlison's in on goal here. He's over the bar. I do think he's offside anyway.
That's offside.
Yeah, he's offside. How dumb do they think we are, though, that we think we were never in for Nagelsmann? He was never in contention.
Because it's like, if the club then come out and put the feelers out to these journalists and say, we were never interested in the first place, that's going to piss the fans off even more. Like, why are you not interested in the first place? He's the golden choice.
It doesn't make any sense to me because he's the one that ticks all the boxes. When you're in terms of what we want as a manager going forward, he's the player, he's the manager that has the experience, plays the football we want. He's young enough that you can build a project.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe you could say he's a big name, so you could say, well, Conte and Mourinho are big names, so you don't want another big name. But I don't he's just off the back of a Bayern job where he kind of got sacked unceremoniously for non-footballing reasons, it seemed.
Yeah.
So, it's not as if this guy at 36 believes he's bigger than Tottenham at that age. I don't believe that. I do believe he would come in and really give everything for the job, unlike maybe Conte and Mourinho, who I do think gave everything, but maybe they just weren't the right fit at the time. There's no real reason I can see why Nagelsmann wouldn't be right for the job. So I don't understand why he wouldn't be in contention. It makes no sense.
It's silly. It's so silly. And he's 36, did you say?
36 years old.
Right, so he's still young, he's still hungry. Yes, he's had a big job like Bayern. Yes, he's had hype around him. And I actually wouldn't go as far as to call him a big name, because that puts him in the same bracket as Jose and Conte and Pep and Klopp and that lot. You can't, because he hasn't got the honours to back it. We currently don't have the honours to back us being a big club. Let's fuse the two together and see what happens. It's just, it's silly.
It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling.
So silly.
Do you think now... there's a lot of talk at the moment. With Mason himself saying he feels like he's ready for the permanent job. He said last time he was manager, he felt like I could do a job. Now he says I know I can do a job. Do you think if the end of the season goes well for him, he's going to be under serious consideration? And also, do you think the fans will give him a chance as well if he is appointed?
I think he's probably already under serious contention, because Levy's going to probably look to save some money somewhere. And he's not doing a horrific job. Plus, the geezer's going to have one hell of a half-time team talk if we're 3-0 down to Liverpool and we're 2-0 down to United and we can come back in both those games. Granted, Liverpool went the way that it did. But what has he said and drilled into those players to make them want to play for him and actually perform in big games and try and grind out results? So I do like Mason. I think he's COYS till he dies. He speaks so well and so highly of the club, even in a situation like the one that we're in. And I watched him on the High Performance podcast, and just the way that he just talks so well, and he's starting to low-key, for me, back his source. I just wouldn't back him to be first-team manager to take over this current situation.
Oh, no. Romero's down here. Hopefully it's just precautionary. He doesn't seem too happy, though, at the moment. I like what you're saying about Mason. I do think it's true, and I do think he's backing up what he's saying. With on the pitch, he's changed a few things.
Yeah.
He's dropped Eric Dyer. He's put Emerson at right centre back, which a lot of people have been saying this season. So he is backing up what Lowry says, but the difference between him and a Guardiola or a Klopp or something or even an Arteta, I feel like they spent years honing a specific way they want to play and their tactics and stuff like that. We don't know if Mason's on that level and has potential to be on that level, and that's what I'm worried about. And also, is it going to be a case of because if he's not like our first choice, which I don't think you appoint Mason because like if things are going well in your managerial searches, but I guess how I'd put it.
Yeah.
Like at the first sign of trouble, are we just going to sack him? Like if we go on a bad run, like a few losses in a row, and he gets under pressure, like. Are we just going to get rid? A bit like Nuno. The first sign of trouble, we just got rid because we knew he was like our 9th choice or whatever it was, ridiculous. So I know like Mason, maybe because he's a Spurs lad, he's like young English manager, maybe he'll get a bit more time from the fans, especially if the football is hopefully better than how it's been the last 4 years. But the hierarchy at the end of the day, they want top 4. At the end of the day, that's what every season we need to be at least in contention for that. And if early doors, he's kind of seems like he's out of his depth. Is it going to be the case where the hierarchy just let go of him? And that's what I'm worried about. I feel like I'm worried for his future if he takes his job at this point.
It's hard because I think Spurs fans, and I've been saying this for however many months now, Spurs fans just need to understand that for the next... I've heard it on this channel said before, the next like 2 years, I disagree. I think we need to be in this 4-5 year period where we have zero expectations. We had such a poor domestic season in the season we got to the Champions League final. The Champions League final really sugarcoated.
Oh no, one sec. Villa coming forward. Romero's been quite out of position. Leon Bailey on the right-hand side. He's in the box. He's cut it back, and it's a goal. And it's Jacob Ramsey.
I'm not even surprised.
7.5 minutes in, and Spurs are behind here at Villa Park. Villa, to be honest, have been the ones on top early doors. They've had corners. They haven't really had any shots, but their first shot on target has led to a goal. Oh, Tottenham Hotspur. The pain is real, Forms. The pain is real.
And it's like, are we going to have to sit through another performance where the first half is so abysmal and we're just trying to claw it back in the second half? And why is it that we are probably the only club in world football that have to concede to get a kick up the backside? It's so silly.
Romero as well was way too rash. I thought he was so calm and composed last week, but he was so rash in his decision making. Comes flying into a challenge. I can't see. He's on Watkins, flying in. Watkins was a brilliant flick, by the way. And all of a sudden, we're all at sea. No Romero there. Bailey takes on Longley, gets the better of him on the right side, cuts it back to Ramsey, and Porro doesn't follow him in, and it's a good finish into the corner. And Tottenham again, so that's what, the third away game where we're behind inside 10 minutes. Third away game in a row.
It's so silly.
It's ridiculous.
It's laughable. It's so laughable. I was sitting there watching the Newcastle game, and once the third went in, I was like, okay, I'm annoyed. The fourth went in, I just started smiling. You can't not...
Yeah, that's exactly what I was. I just burst out laughing when the fifth one went in. It's like, we're that bad, basically. It hasn't been a good start to this game, I have to say. And that is not what Mason would have wanted. Another away game and another sloppy start. Oh, Tottenham Hotspur, man.
I mean, we've been saying it for years now. This defence needs big reinforcements.
And I don't think just taking Eric Dyer out of it is just going to solve everything. Like,
no.
As much as he's been terrible, and I agree, he needed to come out of the team. Like, it wasn't going to solve all the problems. Davis with a cross in the box. Richarlison's in there, but can't get near to him. McGinn is going to be fouled by Son, is he? Referee says play on, and there's a foul now by Son. Oh, man.
The annoying thing about taking Dyer out is that I feel like Romero is a lot more composed when Dyer's on the pitch. And when he's not, we see things like we just saw, and then we go and concede. It's annoying with Romero because he came in. I still don't understand why he wanted to join us when Nuno was in charge. But he came in, and who's he had? He's had Nuno, Conte, Stellini, Mason... Someone like Romero, who has got so much world-class potential. He's now a World Cup winner.
You saw at the World Cup how good he was.
So class, and he just needs that one bit of consistency from every single level, being the players around him, the manager, everything, and give him that stability with an absolute world-class left-footed centre-back, and hopefully things start to look up. It's just, it's not very
I feel
good.
bad for him in a way because we've seen even at Tottenham, obviously, how good of a defender he can be. But I feel like as the Tottenham's performance has gotten worse, his performances have gotten worse as well. He's becoming more rash. I feel like he's putting out more fires than he should be putting out. And you see, when we have like a settled defence, he can be very calm and composed, and he's at his best when he's like towing the line between like being super aggressive but not being overzealous in a way, because
100%.
then he picks up too many cards and things like that. And I thought last week he towed that line beautifully, but I feel like he needs just to be in a settled defence, a proper structured system. And as you say, Tottenham has just been full of inconsistencies. And as we saw with Argentina, once he's in a settled back line, the guy oozes class. He's absolutely brilliant. 100%. And I just think he's coming for a lot of criticism. I think he's lumped in 1 second. John McGinn found a bit of space on the left-hand side. He's in the box. He chips it back post, and it's over the top. Luckily for Tottenham, there were a couple of men though, free back post.
Yeah.
Villa definitely on top at the moment.
They are so desperate for European football, and they have every right to be. They've played really well under Emery, and we are just so complacent with every team that we play now. I feel like even in the situation that we're in, we'll still go to St James's Park, or we'll go to a Villa Park, and we'll go, no, we're Tottenham, we're cool, we're fine.
Yeah.
And then this happens. I honestly,
because we're the team with the experience, aren't we? Because Kane and Son, they're the ones that have been playing Champions League football. Newcastle and Villa, when was the last time they were in Champions League? Many years ago. So we probably come with that air of confidence, I guess, about us. But I feel like we lack that hunger in these games, where these teams are just so desperate to prove themselves. Well, we're like, are we desperate to prove ourselves to get in the Europa League spot? We're not.
No, of course not. And it's so upsetting, the fact that the scum are going to get Champions League.
I think I've got it already.
Yeah, they have got it. It's like the years, what is it? The past maybe 5 years, 6 years, we've been able to take the mic and sing the song and be like, no Champions League. That's been our only vice, by the way. That's the only thing that we've been able to fight, is the fact that, we got no trophies, but at least we can hear, we are the champions. Now we can't. Now it's what's the Europa League music? Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's not even a thing.
Even that season when we were in the Conference League, at least we had the solace that that Arsenal didn't have European football, so we had that over them even for that season. But now it's like, and the fact we didn't win anything as well over that period, it's like, what was it all for nothing now? And now it feels like they're back on top of us now, and it's like, how are we gonna even get back to a stage where we're competing with them and back on top of them?
This is what I'm saying though, no expectations for the next 4 years. It's going to be such a painful rebuild, to the point where we can't go, okay, we're bringing in a manager, let's win us a trophy. It just can't happen.
The problem is this fan base have lost their patience.
This is what I was saying before Villa scored. I was talking about the Champions League final, sugarcoating that terrible domestic season that we had, even though we kind of still finished fourth, and I don't really understand how. But it was one of them where it inflated our egos as a fan base so much that we then just started to expect absolutely everything. And we didn't deserve to expect everything, because we don't have trophies to back it up. We just... Hang on, balls.
Oh, Luis into the box, and it's away by Romero.
You get what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
right?
I know what you said. I think I've said this before. Like, I want to say a foul by Longley. Referee said no. Son's on a counter for Tottenham. Harry Kane, can he pick it up? Oh, he's lost it. It's poor. Oh, no, there is a foul. Is there?
Yeah, Son's been fouled.
Son has been fouled. Ashley Young brought him down. Sick.
We need to wake up. We really need to wake up. We're going to have to heavily rely on Son and Kane this game, you can tell. The midfield aren't going to do much.
I think got lucky to get away with that from Longley.
Yeah. I mean, it was a foul on Son.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's maybe a bit feisty now. But the thing is, as I said before, I've said before on this channel, like, Pochettino normalised Tottenham overachieving. He literally did it so often that it became like we expected this club to overachieve every season. And all of a sudden, when we now we're playing to the standard where where we not should be, but like where we are at the moment. Like, it's hard to keep overachieving when the level of investment is the way that it is, and we keep playing players like Dyer and Davis, not getting the best out of them. Then all of a sudden, you see what our true level is. I think immediately, as soon as Poch left, you saw what our true level was.
Yeah,
and I guess it's not so easy to get back to the level we were under Pochettino that we thought it was,
so
and we thought we had a taste of it.
Back.
Yeah,
bring him back. I don't get it. We're
just going to let him go to Chelsea.
It's so silly and it's so painful. I keep seeing that picture of Poch on the sidelines and Kane in a Chelsea shirt, and it makes me skin crawl. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. I think it was a Photoshop. Oh, one set, long lay forward to Kane. Son's on the edge of the box. Here's Richarlison in the box. A handball. Referee says no. Yeah, it makes me sick, the thought of Pochettino in it, especially as well because our biggest rival was when Poch was in charge was Chelsea. And so to see him now just going to be welcomed there, I guess. I mean, we have a Chelsea fan who works for us, and he really doesn't want him. He keeps saying Pochettino.
Right,
yeah,
okay,
he doesn't want him because he's so associated with Tottenham, and he doesn't feel like he's the right fit for Chelsea. I also kind of feel like that's kind of true in a way, because a bit like how we had this thing with Conte and Mourinho, where when things started to go wrong, there was a certain sect of the fan base who kind of started to hold that against him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a Chelsea boy, he's a Chelsea legend. Why are you so protective of a guy who was just a Chelsea manager? Is that going to be the same thing for Chelsea fans when if he does go through a rough patch? Are they going to start using, he's a bottler, he's just a Tottenham bottler, we don't want that club kind of thing? I worry for him in a way.
I think that's the difference, though. The fact that I was all for Jose, I was all for Conte. I didn't actually care about the Chelsea side of things, but that's because they won with Chelsea. Poch, yes, cool, Champions League final, League Cup final, thanks very much for the memories, but he didn't win anything here. Yes, he transformed the club and he took them into consistent Champions League football, but that's not a Chelsea expectation. So because he didn't achieve like Jose and Conte did at Chelsea fans are going to look at that and be like, why have we got this massive downgrade? And he's a Spurs guy. Like, what are you doing? Because there's things you can throw at him. In his first season at PSG, he didn't win the league, albeit he did come halfway through the season. Never won a trophy at Tottenham. And was sacked eventually. It's taken no serious club, I guess. Like Madrid have always been linked with him, but never really seriously went in for him, I guess. So I guess there's a few things you can throw at him. I do think it's quite unfair, a lot of the things. I think that I hate the people. You know what I hate? I hate people who say he failed at Tottenham. I don't understand these people. Who are I don't understand. Do you understand football? Who Tottenham are and what we've been during the Premier League era? And to say he failed at Tottenham, it makes absolutely no sense to me. I think it's a complete misreading of how his Tottenham tenure went. But I do see maybe Chelsea, because we've seen Bowley react to social media essentially, and react to growing sense of the Chelsea fans' feelings. I don't think he wanted to sack Potter. I think he wanted to keep Potter on. Well, and he kept saying we're going to back him. But
I just think the pressure got too much for him, and he's like, we have to just do something, and they'll end up letting him go. So I do think he's got previous for bowing to fan pressure, and if it did happen with Pochettino, I wouldn't be surprised if he did the same thing.
Interesting. But then if we didn't end up going for Nagelsmann and we then went, okay, Poch isn't going to go to Chelsea, are we going to, we open the door and Daniel Levy gives him a call, is he then going to turn around and say, well, you didn't want me back then, what's changed?
I mean, he probably should say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably should be the conversation. I'm worried. I just hope we're not in a situation again like 2 years ago where we appoint a manager who we didn't really want because we could. And then when things start to go wrong, we just panic again and just go for whatever top manager is available at the time.
It's the Watford cycle.
That's what I'm worried about.
Cycle. It's get a manager, they don't do what you want them to, and sack them, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat. And I really didn't want to be Watford, because we're not Watford, we're Tottenham.
I know. We're turning into just Chelsea with less money and less successful. That's what we're turning into.
Essentially.
But we had a good fee going under Poch. We chucked it away, and now we've gone down this route, and we're 4 managers later or whatever after 4 years, and we're going nowhere. And now we're just, we're essentially. Whereas Chelsea wouldn't sack managers if they dropped out of a title race, we sack managers if they drop out of the top 4 race. That's essentially what we've become, and now we're in this situation for the second time in 3 years. We've got Ryan Mason in interim charge, and we're going for a Europa League spot. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yay.
By the way, the reason we haven't really said anything about the game, because nothing much has happened since Villa have taken the lead. Not many chances to both ends. Tottenham have kind of come into the game a bit more, but have they had a shot yet? Don't remember too many efforts so far. We have possession now. But it's very much Villa waiting for Tottenham and springing on us at the moment, it seems. We don't really have any openings at the moment, but here's long leg. Kane is in behind if he can find him. Richarlison's there as well.
Onside?
I don't know if he's onside or not, if the flag's going to go up. He's there now. The flag, I think, has gone up now. Yeah, they're both offside.
Richarlison's actually the king of offside.
He always on. He might
painful.
Who's offside more, him or Jermaine Defoe? They were both criminally offside so often.
I actually would put Richarlison above Defoe.
Yep, he's offside there. He's always offside, Richarlison, every time. It's so frustrating.
It's like, bro, you're a professional Premier League striker. Look at the line and figure out where you are. Then make the run.
Oh, man. Villa now in possession, just playing it short round the back, but waiting to draw Tottenham out and before trying to play through us.
They've got a mistake or two in them, Villa. It's just whether the likes of Son is on form enough to pounce on them and use his pace.
Whether we're sharp enough to capitalise. That's one of the big elements. At the moment, Villa, though, definitely looking like the better team. And here come Ashley Young on the right-hand side. He's got Bailey in support, but they've slowed the game down. It's quite a slow game. Maybe it was very sunny. It's one of those where sometimes when the sun's out, it can slow the game down a lot. Everyone's enjoying the weather instead of being like hard, fast, and like just going toe to toe with each other.
Plus, I think Villa going 1-0 up early means that they don't have to try and
perfect situation for them.
Take any risks. Exactly.
Here comes Moreno, I think, on the left-hand side for Aston Villa. By the way, 1,400 people watching right now, guys. Come on, smash that like button if you're enjoying the stream. Big up to everyone in the chat. Appreciate all your support. If you do scroll down and hit that like button, it does really help support the channel, and it does help the stream be seen as well. So big up to everyone who's in the chat watching the game with us. There's a yellow card for John McGinn for a foul on Harry Kane. It wasn't a great one. Harry Kane is still down at the moment.
Send him off.
Come on. I'm always so protective of Kane. Everyone fouls him, I want him sent off. It wasn't a great challenge, to be fair, by McGinn. Stretching.
When he holds his ankle as well.
Yeah.
Every Spurs fan just goes...
Because we know about his ankles. He's had previous for it. So you're like, oh, my God. So there's John McGinn, who has been booked for Aston Villa. Again, 22 minutes on. Let me just check the stats. I don't know if we've had a shot yet.
We haven't. Richarlison's been offside twice. That's about it. Stats-wise,
no shot. There's been one shot the whole game, and that was from the goal.
Of course.
So this hasn't been the best game of football, have to say. But we are 1-0 down as things stand. In terms of Emerson Royale, he's found this new position now, hasn't he? In like this right centre-back / right-back role. Oh, Romero's header's a bit short, but Forster's going to come out and clear it. There's Emerson to Porro. And Tottenham trying to play forward, but Porro's passing. He's lost possession. He's been pressed. And here come Villa.
No.
Højbjerg with the challenge.
Oh, my God. Talk to each other.
God, Romero and Højbjerg leave it for each other. Just about sort it out. Kane with a nice flick. And here he is. Son's on the run. He plays him through. Is he onside? I think he doesn't think he's onside, but he's through a one-on-one. He goes round the keeper. Oh, he's in the post.
How is he in the post?
And he was onside as well. Kane shot.
The
flag does go up now. The flag does go up now.
Oh,
Son goes round the keeper. And he did miss the shot. Was he onside? The flag did eventually go up.
Do you think in his head he's thinking I'm offside?
I think he thought he was offside. I think you can tell he thought he was offside. He didn't seem to really take that chance. And was he onside though? Kane played the ball through. Yeah, I think he was off.
Yeah,
I think he's off there. So I think that would have been the right decision. Would have been ruled out anyway.
But this is what's going to hurt them because Villa aren't taking any prisoners. They're pushing everybody forward, which I didn't expect them to at 1-0 up.
But that is the second time in a week in 2 games he's missed a chance like that, isn't it, Sonny?
Yeah.
Albeit I think you could tell he thought he was offside. He seemed to lack conviction with that run for on goal, but that wasn't great from Sonny. Again, another chance for Tottenham, which is the flag goes up, so doesn't count as a shot. So Tottenham's still shotless, and Bailey has just absolutely rinsed Ben Davies there.
But the fact that Kane was so far back and did that little turn and fixed everything himself just goes to show we rely on him every single position in the pitch. And I genuinely, like I said before, Son and Kane are going to be the ones to change this game because no one else seems like they know what they're doing.
Kane drops back because he's the only one who can pick out a pass in that position, and that's an indictment on our midfield players with their lack of vision and passing ability.
Yeah.
It's an indictment for the lack of squad planning, where our best striker also feels he has to be our best creative player. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have to be. I mean, it's great that he is creative. It should be a weapon that you use and not what you rely on. And that's the problem that we have, that we're so heavily relying on him to do that, and we're heavily relying on him to score the goals as well. And if only he could run onto his own through balls, it would be perfect.
Yeah,
but it's not possible. You know what I mean?
It's like if Son was on the form that he was on last season, this season, and Richarlison was actually reliable, cool. Kane, drop deep, do your thing, find the players. It's not happening this season. And it's so annoying, and we're really missing Bentancur.
Oh, massively. We lack that control in the centre, I feel, without him. He's the only midfielder we have. One take, good ball over to Porro on the right-hand side. Doesn't really get ahead of him, though, and he feels like he has to head it backwards. He's Kane. Tottenham hopefully growing into it. He goes over the top for Son, and it's a great challenge by Ashley Young, to be fair, and just stops it going for Son. I'm not sure, again, if he was onside or not. What's it called? Bentancur was the only midfielder who I feel probably would have been just off again.
Yeah.
Bentancur was the only midfielder who can literally take the ball on the half turn and just like go forward with it without being like worried about losing the ball. Like I feel like Skip and Højbjerg either don't have the confidence or don't have the quality to take the ball on the half turn and beat a player and then play a ball forward into space or or progressive pass into the front line. And Bentancur was the only one who was able to do it. And now without him, and with Basuma not fancied and not fit at the moment, like we just lack that ability to play out the back through midfield without Bentancur. And now it's just so stodgy. And it's like either we bypass the midfield or we're playing sideways and backwards. And that's the worry without Bentancur right now.
Though. That is Tottenham, sideways and backwards.
Here's Douglas Luiz for Alberto Moreno on the left-hand side. He gets the ball in, and he's won a corner, has he? Yeah. Sam H167 with a super chat said, would you be happy with a Conference League trophy? I mean, I'll be happy with any trophy right now. Give me a trophy, I'll take it.
I would take this mug right now. I would take Hugo Lloris or Harry Kane or bring Moussa Sissoko back and lift this, I'm happy.
Literally.
Give me that
Give me a cup.
League.
Give me any cup. I'll take it. But not to say I want to be in the Conference League, but obviously if we're in it, I definitely want to win it, that's for sure, because we're so starved.
You have to go for it.
Luiz in the front post. It's gone to Buendia, and it's gone behind for another corner. I think there's no other goals around the grounds as we speak. Oh, there is a goal. It is Chelsea 0, Forest 1. And it's Awioni with the goal he scored. Wow. So Nottingham Forest are 1-0 up at Stamford Bridge. Frank Lampard working his magic yet again.
God, he's such a good manager, Frank Lampard. Such a good manager. He's class.
Can't believe they reappointed him. Madness. Here's Luiz. And he goes to the front post again, and Forster is there to punch it. It's a good punch. Ashley Young backpedaling. Hoists it forward, and it's towards Fraser Forster again, and Spurs have possession. He rolls out to Ben Davies on the left-hand side. Can he charge forward now? He doesn't see the options, and he's forced backwards. Here's Emerson Royale to Kuti Romero. We just look like we just lack options unless we're playing the ball over the top to Son, Kane or Richarlison. Like, again, as I'm saying, look, there's no options. They can't play it to Skip or Højbjerg, so they have to maybe try and work out wide, which is failing, or try and go over the top, and there's just very little for them.
Yeah. Is that us not knowing what we're doing, though, or is that Villa really holding their shape?
Bit of both.
Because they're doing...
long ball forward again. See, we're just forced long to over these balls over the top, and unless they're pinpoint, they're easy to deal with. That's the worry at the moment. I do think... I think it's a bit of both. Villa clearly know what they're doing against us, but also we lack the quality. If we had like Kane tries to nick it off McGinn, but McGinn does well to get forward, keep it away from his Jacob Ramsey, who I think, by the way, Jacob Ramsey, one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. I'm a big fan of his. I think that's his 10th goal contribution this season. He's a 21-year-old central midfielder.
Sick.
Yeah, he's English. I think the only thing holding him back is the fact that maybe he's Aston Villa. Like, he should be in similar conversations to other of the top young midfielders, in my opinion.
Thing is, if he stays at Aston Villa next season and they do end up in a European competition, there's his chance to prove himself.
Yeah, you're right. You are right. Good tackle, though, here from Ben Davies on Bailey. And Son with a turn. It's a good challenge.
Much potential in it.
Oh, I'm unlucky as Son. Oh, it's a foul.
Did you just say good challenge? Absolutely not.
He won the ball, didn't he? But Young is down with the head injury.
Oh, that's why the game stopped.
Yeah, I don't think it was a foul.
Oh. Gutted. Do you think if we did get Conference League next season, the likes of... And say Kane stays, the likes of Kane and Son and players like Romero who have just won the World Cup are going to look at the competition and go, what is this?
I mean, that is what I'm worried about. I think essentially, as much as they won't want to believe it, like consciously, unconsciously, right? When you've been in Champions League regular for nearly a decade, when you've just won a World Cup, as you say, with Romero, and he was in the Champions League with Atalanta, when you're going away to Slovenia to play a group stage, you're not going to... I mean, obviously they're professional and in their mind, they're going to do their best. But it's a bit like when... when like a player wants out and they're forced to stay, like I don't think they consciously like down tools, but a lot of the time, like subconsciously, you just not, because you want to leave, like your game will suffer 1 or 2%, and that's enough at this level for it to suffer. And I think that will happen in the Conference League. If you don't have those players who are hungry to prove themselves, I do think their game essentially can drop in these games. And I do think it will happen. I don't think we're going to go there. And that could be enough, because of the lack of quality in the competition, that could be enough to get you through the group stage. Yeah. But I do think... we saw it last time. Where especially it was more when you went away from home, when you're going to these away trips on a Thursday night, and you're traveling. I think your game does suffer for it. I think the players don't care enough. Whereas when, Bailey's in there, great save from Forster. Oh my word, that's nearly 2-0 to Aston Villa.
Crazy. We
have another goal, and it's Man United are 1-0 up against Wolverhampton. Anthony Martial with a goal.
Damn.
And Leon Bailey, though, very nearly putting Aston Villa 2-0 up at Villa Park. And here's Ollie Watkins with the ball in behind, and Ramsey nearly getting in ahead of Emerson. Great challenge. Tottenham nearly conceding, but now coming forward. Here's Pedro Porro. Richarlison's there. He's onside, I think, if he can find him. But I think Martinez is going to get there first. And now Villa come forward.
This is so annoying. We've spent 32 minutes watching us concede and play long balls.
Essentially, we've really done nothing in this game. There's been no kind of pattern to play through the lines at all. Villa have found it quite easy to deal with us. There is I have to say, there is a bit of space in behind if we can get the ball right, but it has to be pinpoint.
Yeah.
Here's Ollie Watkins. Oh, is that a penalty?
No.
No, he goes over, but referee says play on. And there is a check, though. There is a check. Referee has stopped play. Watkins did a 1-2 with Ramsey. He's in the box. And I tell you what, Emerson has gone diving in and doesn't get the ball.
I don't...
Oh, no, he does get the ball. I think he hits it off Watkins. I do think he hits it off Watkins.
I don't know. I don't think that's a clear and obvious error.
Yeah, I think referee says play on.
Cool.
I think Emerson gets a touch on the ball onto Watkins. I think he just about gets away with it.
I don't mind him at right centre back.
Well, yeah, we're about to talk about that. I think that is a position that, in theory, oh my word, a ball across the face of goal again from Ramsey, dealt with from Romero, another corner to Villa. I think it's a position that just highlights all his strengths and kind of hides his flaws. Because that's where you want him. You want him in defensive situations. You don't want him. I think what we got so frustrated out of Emerson wasn't the fact that, I think from defensive point of view, he was pretty good. I think he was really good aerially. He'd win a lot of headers. He was very hard to beat in one-on-one situations. But the problem with Emerson is we relied on him to basically get forward and provide a threat going forward. And that just isn't his game. He can't cross for toffee. And cross in the box is going to be a free kick to Tottenham. So I think when you're relying on Emerson, that isn't his strength. And I think that really hindered his game. And he always had to find himself in the final third. In this position, he can either be a centre-back or a right-back where he's comfortable in the defensive situations.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's not being asked to always attack and always be provide a threat going forward. And I think that really suits him a lot better. And I think it also solidifies our defence because it adds a bit more height, it adds a bit more pace as well to our back line. So we're not, when we're caught up the field or we're whereas, as you saw, for example, for God's sake, Longley has played it straight out for a throw. I'll try and play out from the back. For example, that the goal that Rashford scored against Spurs at the Tottenham Stadium. That's like a classic example of why maybe Conte didn't want to throw too much caution to the wind, because he knows if Dyer's caught in that situation, we're done for. Whereas if we have Emerson there, he can maybe have the pace to hold up someone like a Rashford, and we're maybe not as exposed.
Completely agree. I completely agree. I actually have nothing to add. I usually have so much to say, but you genuinely took every single point out of my mouth.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. Yeah, Viva la Emerson Royale.
Would you keep him for next season?
Yeah.
You would?
As a squad player, yeah. I think for the dressing room, who seem to absolutely love him, and for the fact that if he's left in a role that is purely defensive, he's not unreliable compared to the likes of Dyer and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd keep him as a squad player.
Yeah, but as long as he's not a wing back.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be seen. If he sees himself as a wing back, I would rather if he's happy to convert his natural position to a right centre back or this right back role, I'm happy for him to stay. But I don't want next season to be in a situation where he's one of our two options as a wing back, and then we're kind of relying on him.
I mean, we've been overrun so much in midfield over the past 18 months that we are screaming out for another player in midfield. So if we do end up going next season with whoever is our manager with a back five, that's I think where the problems continue.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the likes of Poch, loved the back four, would occasionally switch it up occasionally if he needed to, and was really fluid with it. But obviously you've got Conte, who's stubborn as and didn't want to change a thing.
Leon Bailey's in a bit of space here. He crossed it with his right foot to the back post. Oh, Moreno was lining up a volley, but Porro was able to get it away. Richarlison's clearance isn't great. Tottenham trying to get it clear. And here's Kane. Tottenham on a counter now. Kane, Concert, holds him up and he can't get the pass off, and Villa are now back in position. Again, it just feels like in that situation, it's like if Kane can't get that pass off, bam, the move's broken down. And that's just how reliant on him we are.
Yeah.
It's mad.
It is nuts.
Here's Romero. Tottenham just playing it along the back at the moment, struggling to really create any sort of chance. I don't think we still haven't had a shot technically because they've all been offside. So I still think we're shot shy. We've given the ball away in our own defensive third, and Bailey's completely skinned Longley. Plays it to McGinn. Buendia in the box, and Tottenham just about deal with it.
Yeah,
it's a bad ball out though from Ben Davis, and it's given straight back to Villa. Tottenham are just being penned in at the moment. We're just struggling to play out. Here's McGinn. McGinn looking for options. He goes out wide to Tyrone Mings, who has supported the attack. There's a ball over the top, and it's just too long for Jacob Ramsey. Tottenham get away with that. We're struggling here.
We are. Yeah, we are. But it's the first half, and we don't like first halves.
It's true. It is true. We are better in the second halves. Even under Mason, I think that's been the case.
Yeah.
There was Buendia with a lovely ball over the top for Ramsey, just a bit too long for him, wasn't able to keep it in. We are 7 minutes away from half-time here. This first half hasn't really been much to shout about for either side, I would say, but it's a flick on by Kane, looking for Richarlison, but Mings deals with the clearance. And now Villa can play around the back. Just not a lot going on in this game at the moment. Do Tottenham want the Conference League? Come on, show some fight. Maybe they don't want the Conference League.
No, for me with Richarlison, there's no urgency, and I don't think I've seen urgency from Richarlison all season. Like he'll get close to a player, he'll try and win a ball, but he won't try as hard as the other player, and it's always annoyed me because it's like if you just wanted it more than the other man, maybe you'd be in with more chances. Maybe you'd score more than one Premier League goal. You £60 million waste man. Actually, I kind of like Richarlison.
I like him.
Just because he's vibes, but on the pitch, he has to do more.
Yeah, he has to do more. I mean, one Premier League goal is unacceptable for a player like Richarlison. I was a massive advocate for his signing, and I really wanted to bring him in because I just felt like he could cover that position up front, he can cover on the left, and maybe give Kane and Son a bit of rest time. But I've got two problems with it. First of all, I don't like how we've used him. Like, we've essentially used him with Kane and Son all the time.
Yeah.
And we haven't used him how I like to use him, which is either off the left or up front. We more often use him on the right, which is not his favourite position. But I have to say, when he has had his chances, the quality just hasn't been there. And even if he's in his unfavoured position and you want to see more from him, his first touch is more often than not been off a lot of the time. A good cross in, Watkins with a header. And bloody hell, that was close to being headed home. Luckily for Tottenham, Watkins' header flashes wide. A brilliant ball in by Moreno, though. Another good opportunity for Aston Villa. But Richarlison, his first touch has been terrible. As you say, he's been consistently offside. His finishing has just been... you know what? I can't even say his finishing has been that bad because he never gets into chances to score.
That's exactly it.
He's not in those positions. He's not in the box enough, I feel. Like, he's been... At Everton, he was very good at, like, getting in on the end of crosses and things like that. He's very good in the air. But I never see him in the box. Whenever, like, Porro whips in a cross, I'm not seeing Richarlison. Where is he?
Because he doesn't want it. There's no urgency. This is what I'm saying. He might get himself into the right position every now and then, but 90% of those times, it's offside. And then he's just nowhere to be seen when he needs to be seen. Unless it's the likes of a set piece where he has to be there and a ball is coming in.
Another long ball this time from Emerson. It's not good enough. Looking for Richarlison, but cut out by Tottenham. And I think he probably would have been offside. He is always playing on that last man, isn't he, Richarlison? And I just feel like his timings, of his run timings, are just not great. Kane pressuring McGinn, though, looking to win the ball, but McGinn does well, shields it, and plays his way out of trouble. Here's Moreno for Aston Villa. They're just happy with how the game's going. I feel they definitely feel like they're in control, and even with the little kind of attacks they've had, which they've had not too many, but they're still creating chances, even though they are dominating possession as well. So even though Tottenham are quite kind of deep, Villa's still finding ways to create opportunities, and that's got to be worrying, and they got to be very happy with how it's going.
100%. Whatever Emery's plan was, it's going to plan.
100%. Oh, man. It's hard to watch as a Tottenham fan at the moment. There are very few counters. Here's a chance, though. Kane on the counter. He's played it short to Porro. We're looking to maybe build an attack here for some possession. But the problem is, as soon as we allow Villa to settle their defence, we've got no way through at the moment. Here's Longley. Skip. Foul on Ollie Skip. No, referee says no, he won the ball. Here's Buendia. To the left-hand side, here's Ramsey in the box. He cuts it back to Buendia's shot, and is that a save? Saved by Forster, tipped over the bar. Another good opportunity for Aston Villa. There's another goal in the Premier League. Palace are 1-0 up against AFC Bournemouth. Eberici Eze with the goal.
Yay. Well done, Palace. Well done.
Villa again. Oh, no, it was off the bar, was it? It wasn't a save. Yeah. Ramsey cut it back to Buendia. His shot on his left foot.
Yeah, this Ramsey kid's class.
Yeah, I told you. He's good, this Ramsey. Very underrated. I don't think he gets chatted about. If he played for one of the top 6 clubs, he'd be chatted about a lot more. Kane, another flick on from him. Couldn't get it through to Richarlison, though. Here's McGinn. Skip. Bundia's wrong side of him, and he gets away from him, and here's Moreno on the overlap. Porro's.
Stick a foot in.
Can Porro? Yeah, Porro gets a foot in. A good challenge. Can he get forward now, Porro? He's got no support. He plays it into Son. Son takes a touch into space. Very few options. Skip plays out wide. Here's Højbjerg. Romero. Longley to Kane. Haven't seen enough of Porro going forward, have we, in this half?
No.
Not like he hasn't been able to at all. And it says something interesting, though, because Emery did mention it before the game. He said, like, Porro's been in great form. He's definitely someone who we need to make sure doesn't get enough of the ball. Definitely showing that. He hasn't seen anything in the attacking third at the moment, Pedro Porro.
100%. Villa are making it difficult for him to go forward because they're constantly attacking, especially on that side.
And Longley the ball through, looking for Son. I think he would have been offside again, but again, it's overhit anyway. We just we're looking for that pass in behind, but we're struggling to really time the pass correctly at all, find the players onside, and all the weight of pass has been wrong as well. And here's Bailey, he's isolated. Ben Davis gets a ball into the box, and Emerson's able to get it away, only as far as Luiz, who does an acrobatic pass into Moreno's path. His cross at the back post, and Davis leaves it for Bailey, and his cross can only find Forster. Luckily for Tottenham, not much comes of it. 2 minutes added on at the end of the first half.
Blow the whistle
We need
now,
this first half to end. Still haven't had a shot yet.
Blow the whistle now. Whatever halftime team talks Mason did at United and Liverpool, I want the same one today, son. I'm just grateful it's only 1-0.
Josh Slack with the super chat says, "Hi guys, hope you're well. What's your full-time prediction?" I mean, my 1-1 is on. Oh, Davis is Son onside this time. He's in behind again. Flag is stayed down for now. Son's in the box. Can't man down the flag now. Goes up. Can't maneuver a shot.
Trap that Villa are playing is class because it's working to perfection.
And catching him offside every single time.
Every time.
Is he offside here? Let's see. It was a ball through this time from Ben Davis. I tell you, yeah, he's off. Yeah, he's off. Yeah, he's off. You can see that from the lines. Every time he's offside. Yeah, he knows it as well. He's getting frustrated, Sonny. We're not being able to find him. I said 1-1 pre-kickoff. I'm going to stick with it. Look at that. 5 offsides for Tottenham, not 1 for Aston Villa. Do you think we're going to get back in this game? Doesn't look likely at the moment.
I just, based off of how we've been doing in the second half, once we go down in the first half, I'm going to say... Do I want to say yes? Screw it. I'll be optimistic. I'll go 3-1 Spurs.
3-1.
Yeah, go on.
Jeez, Forms is on one today. He's on form.
Bring on a Kulusevski.
Is that a foul by Kane? Yes. Referee says yes. Yeah, Kulu, I think, wouldn't hurt. Maybe he could get that timing of the pass right compared to these other players.
Or a Danjuma, who just seems so focused whenever he's on the pitch.
I feel so bad for him. Imagine when imagine on the day we signed Danjuma, I told you we'd be sitting here on the May the 12th, 13th, and he still wouldn't have started a game for Tottenham.
Yeah,
it is half time. It is half time at Villa Park. It is 1-0 to Aston Villa. Being a really poor first half, has to be said. Not much to talk about in terms of goal mouth action. Spurs, have to say, have been really poor in possession. Haven't been able to fashion any sort of opportunity. In fact, the stats speak for themselves because we haven't had a shot at all in this half. In terms of the stats itself, ball possession, 56% possession for Villa, 44% for Tottenham. 4 shots to 0 for Spurs. 2 shots on target, none for Tottenham. Obviously, no shots at all. 3 big chances during the game for Aston Villa. 2 of them missed. Obviously, one of them scored from Jacob Ramsey. The expected goal was at half-time, 0.92 for Villa, nothing for Tottenham. We have just been absolutely all over the shop, to be honest. I mean, how do we go about in this second half, like trying to combat what Villa are doing? Because at the moment, Villa are dominating possession. When we get the ball, there's absolutely no pathway centrally. The only pathway is, and also out wide, there's no pathway. It seems you can't seem to get any sort of ball out wide. The only pathway we have is a ball over the top, and we're being consistently found offside. And again, Villa are winning possession back fairly simply. So is it a case of, do we need to change formation, do you feel, at half time and to try and get back in this game? Or do you feel like maybe with the personnel shift, we can have maybe a bit of a tactical shift in that way and try and get back in this game?
I don't think it's got anything to do with the formation. I just think that it's clearly a timing issue. Like I said before, Villa are playing the offside trap really well, and we just can't quite find the right time to put a ball through to a runner. So whether it's bring on Kulusevski or bring on another attacking option and try and get the timing right and switching things up tactically that way, cool, I'm down for it. But I just think it's going to be a case of Villa slipping up and us capitalising, because I can't see us, the way that we played in that first half, going and creating it for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I mean, we do have options off the bench. As you say, we mentioned Danjuma, Kulusevski. So if we do want to change it, we do have those options. Not too many for if we want to go with maybe 3 in the middle. Only really Sarr is an option. Maybe you can think Perisic for Ben Davis, go really attacking. Basuma's back on the bench. Mason did say last week it was a bit premature to have him on the bench, but maybe he's fit enough to make an impact in this kind of game. But Villa are finding it way too easy, has to be said.
Which is why I never in a million years would I bring Perisic on in a game that we're 1-0 down. Yes, we need to attack, but how open does that leave us on that side when Perisic, who has 0 defensive ability, is called into action? At least Porro tries to get stuck in when he's called upon, and Villa are attacking on that side. I can't rely on Perisic whatsoever.
just watching the highlights again. I mean, Son had that chance, but he was way, way, way offside. Obviously, the flag went up as well. But in terms of away games, is there an argument to be said there is improvement? Because Newcastle 5-0 after 20 minutes, Liverpool 3-0 after 15. Now it's only 1-0 after 7. So is there a slight improvement with each away game?
No, because look at the opposition. Like it's one of them where yes, in comparison, you got to be happy that it's only one, but at the same time, we're meant to be Spurs,
and we could have been 2 or 3, to be honest, down.
It's so annoying because it's almost inevitable at this point. It's like we go on the road and go, okay, cool. Let's like give them an extra advantage first. Let's get their home fans completely up for this game, and then let's try and give ourselves the biggest challenge.
I mean, it's been a big problem for us throughout the season, isn't it? Because didn't we go for that long stretch of games? I think around December, January time, where literally I think it was about 10 games in a row we'd concede the first goal, and then we'd start playing. So for Tottenham, I don't know what it is about us, but we can't seem to start games in the right manner. Every single time we have to go 1-0 down before we have a semblance that we're getting back in this game. And look, Villa definitely seem hungrier than Tottenham in this game. They're the ones creating all the chances. They've definitely had more quality as well. Tactically, they seem spot on. And it's got to be a big worry for Tottenham going to the second half about changing it, because you also get the feeling of Tottenham open up a bit more. Like Villa will just slice us open right now. Right now, we're trying to make it difficult for them, and they're still able to create chances. And we just got absolutely nothing on the ball. We've got no quality. We've got no. It seems like we've got no players in positions around in midfield as well.
Yeah.
I know Villa play this system where they've almost got like 4 central midfielders, because they play Ramsey and McGinn out wide, but they tuck in a lot and like basically become like an extra midfielder, and they got Buendia floating around. So maybe that's the reason why we're really struggling to play through those central areas, because when those players are tucking inside, how we're going to find a way through. And then, do they really have to worry about Davis out wide? Probably not. They can let him have a run, because they know McGinn has the pace to track him back if he ever gets any space. Yeah, so
exactly. And then it goes back to the point that you were making whilst the half was on, and with Skip and Højbjerg, in the sense that they might not necessarily have the quality or the confidence, especially when it's 2 against 4. Even if you've got Kane dropping a little bit deeper and trying to get stuck in, that's still 4 against 3. At least the beauty of, I can't believe I'm using beauty and Eric Dyer in the same sentence, but at least the beauty of having Dyer playing in a back 3 is that he can slot in and he plays in that midfield role very well, because arguably that's his strongest position, and his peak in football was playing in that DM role. I don't know, it's hard, it's a tough one. I think Emery's probably going to tell the Villa boys, keep doing what you're doing, we're catching them, the plan's going to work, just be more clinical in front of goal. Whereas Mason's probably going to slap him silly and go, boys, do you not want what
is going on here? Yeah,
it's almost like, and I actually think it's true in a sense to say that Villa have got a lot more to play for, given that they haven't touched Europe in however long, and they're going for the highest European place they can. Whereas in the Spurs mentality mind, we've lost Champions League, so it's like
anything's like
heads, it's gone. So Villa are playing for something a lot bigger. We might as well be like confirmed to stay in the Prem for next season, and we're guaranteed safety, and Villa are still fighting in the relegation battle because they've got something to play for and we don't. But we might as well be in that position.
That's what it feels like. Those two kind of teams, one really fighting and one just like doesn't really care about getting a Europa League spot, and that's the reality. And there is more super chats that have come through.
Let's go.
Scorpion Fan for Life says 0 shots and no threat. Richie off, Danjuma on. Yeah, well, that's what we've been saying as well. I was even saying before the game, because Danjuma obviously played under Unai Emery, so maybe he knows the way Emery likes to play. So maybe that would be something interesting to see if he does come on. Maybe he can provide something. Powder TCG says Højbjerg really is bang average. Sad. What's your opinion on Højbjerg? Because he split. I feel like he splits the fan base a lot.
He really does. I really like him. I'd like him to be a little bit more consistent, but I like him. He controls He controls the players around him. He's one of the most vocal players on the pitch. He has even come out time and time again and said, "Look, I'm no tactician. I'm no tech. I don't have any technical ability. I can't do what certain other players can do. But I know my role on the pitch. I know where everybody else is meant to be, and I will be there to command them." And I love that, because that is the type of mentality a winning squad needs. So I like Højbjerg in that sense, but yes, we could sign probably better in that position.
He's definitely upgradable. That's the thing, isn't it, with Højbjerg? I feel like for me with Højbjerg, I feel like he's a good Premier League midfielder, but I just feel like he's not outstanding in anything. He's good at a lot of things. He's like a good passer. He's got a good shot on him. He's a pretty good player off the ball with his tackles and covering ground. But he's not like elite in any of those. He's not like amazing at anything. So when he comes up against other midfielders who are either elite dribblers or elite passers or even elite off the ball, I feel like he's found wanting a lot of the time in those situations. But if he's like a squad player, I think he can be a very good squad player to fill in. You can trust him to come in and always perform and put a 7 out of 10 performance. But the problem is he plays every minute of every game. That's the problem we have with him, essentially. So I do think he could definitely be upgraded, but I'm happy for him to be part of the squad. I do think he's a good midfielder.
Definitely.
But I just don't want him to be our number one.
I think he's a lot stronger in a 3 as well, when there's no overrunning situations involved, and he can either go forward and leave 2 behind him, or allow somebody to have the freedom to go forward and he can stay back. So there's more people to cover spaces wherever he wants to go and be, and he can command more in the midfield rather than just having one other to rely on. And this situation where we've only got Skip to rely on, I mean, in the pecking order, you'd probably put Skip 4 of the 4 that we've got in terms of Bentancur, Basuma, Højbjerg and Skip. So I think good players are good, but they're made better with players that are around them. And I think Højbjerg, with the likes of Bentancur next to him, and maybe if we were playing 3 in midfield, to have someone more attacking in front of them, then yeah, cool, he can start. But having to rely on him, as you say, every minute of every game,
we treat him like he's Harry Kane, like he's our most important midfielder. Like, this shouldn't be that way.
But he is at the moment.
I know, I agree. No, that's a fair comment. He is. Andrew Dean with another super chat says, "Energy has Mason in the bag." Emre, I think he means Emre has Mason in the bag. Tactically outclassed on press, on high line, and during transition. If Mason doesn't change anything, we lose. I have to say, Mason has completely been out-tacticked for sure in this game. Emre has got it absolutely spot on. So there's nothing really I can say about it. I think it's absolutely true. I think the tactics, Emre has been schooling Mason in that first half for sure. We've had nothing. So I think he's spot on there. Jamie Allen says, bring on Kulusevski and Basuma in the second half. Basuma's an interesting one because Conte really didn't fancy him in the formation that he played. Obviously, he's another player I really wanted for his time at Brighton. He was absolutely brilliant. Do you think maybe a new manager could really unlock the best out of Basuma? Because even in his Spurs shirt, I do see qualities in him, but I just think Conte's stringent formation, I think maybe kind of limited him.
I don't think Conte was the manager that someone like Basuma needs. Like, you look at Potter at Brighton, and how different Potter and Conte are in their management styles and how they handle players individually and stuff like that. And I think that Basuma is in need of a specific type of manager. You've got some players like the likes of Kane who can play under anyone. He can play under someone who's going to put his arm around you like Pochettino, but he can also play under someone like Mourinho who isn't going to give you any second chances kind of thing. Whereas you get some players like Basuma, I think, who need someone to cuddle them a bit and say, no, it's okay, this is what you're doing, this is what we need to do. And Conte just wasn't that man. So yeah, it's a case of you can't go from being one of the best midfielders outside the top 6 in the league. Actually, screw that, one of the best midfielders in the league to going to one of the flops of the season, when the only real difference, you've upgraded the quality of players around you. The only difference in that sense is the manager.
And he never really got a consistent run in the team, did he? The whole season. I can't remember, maybe a stretch of even 3 games he started in a row. I don't think he did.
And it's just a shame that Bentancur got injured at the same time or a similar time that Basuma did, because Bentancur being injured was the perfect chance for Basuma to come in and go, "Ooh, this is what I can do."
And then he also got a long-term injury.
Exactly.
I hear that. Big Six Factory says Ryan Mason out. Well, you only have to win. It's only another 2 games, mate. Just chill. I'm not going to be calling for Ryan Mason's head just yet.
I mean, yeah. Let's move on.
There's a conversation I've been having. Actually, this commenter just brings up MHTB whatever. MHTB FECSQ1. I don't know how you say that. He says Ndombele is better than these midfielders 100%. It's a conversation I've been having with some of the contributors on the channel about bringing Ndombele back for next season. I said, if a manager looks at him and thinks he can do something with Ndombele, I'm more than happy to have him back, because I think he's got bags of ability. And I think a lot of the time it was just getting that out of him, which was the problem. I think a lot of fans, I think majority of fans probably, including my older brother Ben, have given up on Ndombele and don't want to see him anywhere near the squad next season, regardless of what a manager wants. But what's your opinion on Ndombele, maybe some of the other loan players for next season? Do you think maybe they deserve another chance, or do you just want to just see them leave and start afresh?
I like him. I do like him. And it's one of them where, after, who was it, Morecambe, that we played in the FA Cup?
That was a big line under the stand for a lot of people.
If there was a split opinion between the fan base, that was the moment that probably pushed him over the edge of the majority of the fan base, going, "No, we don't want Ndombele in." But there's something to be said about his ability on the ball, off the ball. We all know what he's like, and it's almost as if we're playing with 10 men. But at the same time, is he also the type of player that needs a manager to boost his ego rather than try and chip away at his ego? Because Mourinho wasn't that guy. Mourinho was that guy to go, okay, this is what you're not doing things right. I'm gonna scream and shout at you until you get it right, and that's maybe not what he needed. Maybe he needs, "You're the best, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best," and then when he doesn't have a good performance, he gets dropped, so he knows, and then trains his way back. I don't know. It's one of them where do we cut our losses with Ndombele, or do we take another chance? It all depends on the manager that comes in and whether he wants to take a chance. I personally like him. Would I want to see him in a Spurs shirt next season? Probably not, even though I do like him.
But I just get the feeling as well, like, how things could have been different with Ndombele, had things at Spurs been different. So he comes in under Pochettino once, and the players are out for the second half.
Yeah, that's true.
Second half is about to get underway. Villa kicking off from right to left. No changes at the second half. We are underway for the second half. But what I was going to say about Ndombele is, he comes in under Pochettino, a very attacking manager, focuses more on possession. I know he does a lot of pressing as well. But all of a sudden, after 10 games into the season, a couple of months into Ndombele being a Tottenham player, all of a sudden we have Mourinho in charge, who's very much a pragmatic manager, not focused on keeping possession, not a possession-based style of play. Then we have Conte, again, likes to do a lot of defending, not very possession-based. How many times have we seen Ndombele actually have a chance under a more attacking manager who likes to keep possession more? If we limit Ndombele's defending to seriously and keep him more focused on his possession, why can't he be an asset to us? That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, you just have to look at his loan spells, and if he had contributed even the littlest bit to Napoli's Scudetto win, cool, let's bring him back. He's clearly got something. He's clearly got a fire in his belly. He's given them beans this season. He's done nothing. I think he's had maybe 30 appearances, whether it's start or coming.
I think he's had 8 starts the whole season, I believe.
There you go. 0 goals, 0 assists, and 2 yellow cards, I think, or something like that.
Villa going forward. Here's Jacob Ramsey in the bottle. What a challenge by Romero. So close to getting that shot on target. About to pull the trigger there, Jacob Ramsey, but Romero is there at the last ditch to win a corner for Aston Villa. But
that's
great
when
defending.
He's class. That is when he's top notch. not when he's flying himself in recklessly. That was perfect.
That was perfectly timed from Christian. It had to be, because Ramsey was about to pull the trigger there. I agree with your point on Ndombele. His loan spells haven't been brilliant. What I would say is that one sec, ball into the box, back post completely free, Ashley Young, and he skews the volley so wide.
For that.
And we got away with that. Pedro Porro wins a free kick. What I would say about the Ndombele thing is Napoli were pretty much winning every single game. So why would the manager change it? Why would he put Ndombele in, if you know what I mean? Like, Ndombele, like, if Napoli are winning every single game, not just winning, they're battering teams 3-4-0 pretty much every game, especially for most of the season they were. Where was he ever going to get his chance to get into the team?
If they're winning 3 or 4-0, squad rotation is key, especially in a title charge. So it's like, if you're up 3-0 and there's 15 minutes left to go in a game, and you bring on someone like Ndombele to give those players in the midfield a time to rest and breathe, he comes on and...
One sec, Villa coming forward again. Douglas Luiz on the edge of the box. Skip with the challenge. Here's John McGinn looking for a pass forward. There's a good ball from McGinn and Buendia, but forced backwards. And Mings now to Moreno on the left-hand side. Are they going to get a cross in the box here, Villa? I think Tottenham are forcing them back now.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is, if they were winning by those margins and then they had the chance to rest players and bring Ndombele on, well, why couldn't he come on in that last 15 minutes and make that 3-0 or 4-0, or that 4-0 or 5-0?
I think he did make a lot of contributions off the bench. He, as you say, he played about 30 games in total, and 22 of them off the bench. So I do think
0 goals and 0 assists.
I think McGinn with a long-range effort over the bar. I think he did get a few in the Champions League, but I guess it depends where he was playing. I don't know if he was playing in a central midfield position or he was playing like a number 10 position, which he did quite a lot under Jose Mourinho. I don't think that's his natural position. I do think he's more of a number 8 than a number 10.
Either way, we've seen him take a ball and make up so much space and push past players and do basically what Moussa Dembele did. So you have to contribute somewhat. I don't know. I'm talking myself out of wanting Ndombele back, to be fair. But I think we've spent so much time talking about him. I think we can fully move on now and settle that.
Fair enough. We have more super chats. Vinicius Carrier says the biggest problem is accommodating. Is the accommodating crowd soft? I can understand the lack of relevant protests, so Levy lives free. COYS from Brazil, he wants the protests to ramp up, it seems. Vinicius Carrier again says, guys, just imagine the Ndombele energy today. Well, I guess in terms of Ndombele, like in midfield, I think he has more ability than any of our midfielders right now, to be honest, on the ball. Here's Pedro Porro, maybe in the final third. Porro, he's looking to slip Son through, but it just gets intercepted. But Emerson now, adding some aggression.
What is he doing?
Is that a foul?
What is going on?
That's a free kick to Villa. Sales 56 for the super chat says, American and American football fan here. Timing routes are big in the NFL. Why isn't there a timing out, I think. No, timing route? 1 to 2 count designed for Son or Richarlison to release for the ball over the top through. Do you know anything about American football?
No.
I can't say I know what you're talking about, mate.
But Major League Baseball, though.
Exactly, he's on that.
Love a bit of baseball.
Timing, maybe he means the timing of the pass, because I think American football has a lot of the quarterback role, playing those long balls over the top. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Can't say I know too much about American football, man. Here's Moreno with a ball into the box. Buendia flicks onto Watkins. It's only away. Leon Bailey now on the right-hand side. Leon Bailey to Buendia in the box. Has a shot, and it's parried away from Forster. Another shot from Aston Villa. Another decent opportunity. A good save from Forster.
Best believe Lloris is letting that in.
The current form he's on. Or palms it straight to a Villa player.
Yeah.
So another goal. There is. Chelsea have equalised against Nottingham Forest. Oh, Forster, another save.
They're getting shots on target though, Villa. They really are.
Here's Buendia, his shot. Good save by Fraser Forster.
Yeah.
But they are creating those opportunities. He's been a thorn on our side all day. Buendia. Good touch this time by Richarlison, but he immediately loses it. One touch inside the Villa box. Wow, the whole game. That's ridiculous. That is pathetic.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Harry Kane's in there. Oh, he's missed it.
Oh, my God.
Højbjerg to Son. No, Son.
Shoot.
To Højbjerg. Oh, we overplayed it.
Oh, my God. That was such a good
we've won
chance.
it. We won it in the attacking third. And Harry Kane with an opportunity 1-on-1 against the Aston Villa keeper, Martinez, and he forced a save out of him. We had the opportunities to follow up on it, but we couldn't make the most of it. Emerson's ball into the box and away.
Kane
has to be burying that. Has to be burying that. What happened here? I missed it. So, Tyrone Mings, he was pressured by, well done, Højbjerg, wins it, plays it to Kane. Oh, and it's a save, but he has to be burying that, Harry Kane. And we had to be doing better on the follow-up as well. Son has to be taking that quicker.
Yeah.
Long way, gives it away.
Chance. Early on in the second half as well.
Bailey, is that a foul? It is a foul by Ollie Skip. And it's going to be a yellow card, is it? Yellow card for Ollie Skip.
Oh, come on, Tottenham. We need a little bit more of that. This is what I mean when I said Villa have got mistakes in them and they are going to slip up. We've just got to capitalise. And if there's any player in the league other than Erling Haaland that you want in that position to capitalise, it's Harold Kane. Oh. I guguess his only defence is that there was a player to his, the Villa player to his left,
hello,
to his
we've
right.
won it again. Oh, thought Porro was going to find it to Rishi, but Villa have recovered possession. Hopefully we become more aggressive because that might be our best way of creating chances because we don't seem to be able... Oh, once... Oh, no, it's all right. Because we don't seem to be able to create chances unless it's in transition, it seems. Goal kick to Spurs, though. Well done, Højbjerg, though. That's the first time he's done that all game. I think he tried to give him the eyes, Kane, just failed to do so. Good save by Martinez. Nowhere near the corner, though, from Kane. Very disappointing with him. But here's Watkins. He turns Romero, gets it to Ramsey. He's in the box, cuts it back. Good challenge this time from Romero again, actually.
Actually, yeah, forget Jacob Ramsey staying at Villa to prove himself in Europe. Bring him to Tottenham.
Yeah, I'll take him, man.
Bring him to Tottenham.
I'll take Jacob Ramsey. I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah, this is a great audition for you, mate.
All right. Louise with the corner.
Fraser Forster with his arms in the air, celebrating like Europa Conference League.
Heads away. Can Son beat Ramsey to it? He's not going to. And Villa recover possession. Here's Emi Martinez, the long ball forward. Tottenham can deal with that, luckily. And now we have possession back.
Run.
Porro, not many options again, and now we're back in the situation.
But a player like Porro, surely create your own chances. Just
try and take someone on.
Run forward and take a player on. What is it? As soon as a player, even a skillful player that puts a Tottenham shirt on, just instantly loses the ability to take a player on.
Literally. Here's Porro now on the right-hand side, though. What can he do?
Take him on.
He takes on Moreno, gets the cross in, and Tottenham is that our first corner of the game, I would say?
I think it might be.
First corner. Come on.
Right, let's go. Who's your money on to head this one in?
We don't have many good headers, to be honest. I would go probably... Let's go Romero. Cootie's going to head this one in.
I reckon Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's probably going to get headed away, but let's go.
Yeah, for sure. If it's for Richarlison, I'll take my clothes off.
You heard it here first. All right, Porro took this one in. He's become our set-piece taker in the last couple of games, Porro. And the near post flicked on and away. And Villa deal with it. But here's Heung-min Son picking up the second ball. Here's Porro. Cuts inside, whips it in with his left foot. Not to anyone, really.
His left foot, it was a decent cross.
It wasn't bad. Here's Harry Kane. who's being booed by the Villa fans, and he's lacking options, so goes back to Emerson Royale. Emerson with the square pass to Skip. Højbjerg cuts inside. He does well. Drives past Bailey, and he looks for the little dip through ball to Kane, who didn't read it.
That was a little bit of Pierre, Emile, and Dombele.
Yeah, that was all right. Is that a foul? Referee says yes, that's a foul. I'm just going to go do an Eric dive very, very quickly. I'll be back.
That's fine.
Forms will be all right.
That's all good. I was actually very tempted to do a similar thing to you, so I might do the same when you get back. But for the meantime, hello. Still quite boring. 57th minute. Mason standing there with his arm folded. I'm sitting here with my head in my hand. I'm going to put these in because I want to hear what's going on. I don't know how we can hear anything through these. It's so quiet. Villa have got possession. Oh, Villa still... Okay. I think that's Longlay's just giving it to Højbjerg. Looks for an option forward. Son is in. And Martinez gets there. I should so go into commentary. Can you imagine me like spitting bars and like freestyling while the game happens? Just about the game. That'd be jokes.
Yeah, I'm open to that. Yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it.
There's your headphones back. We're subbing in. This is Toilet Tag Tottenham Toilet Tag Team.
When it's been an hour on stream, you know what you got to do.
Oh hell yeah!
There's been another goal. It's 1 sec. 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Eberechi Eze with a second. So Palace leading Bournemouth 2-0. Here comes Tottenham. Sorry, here comes Villa. Is that a foul by Longley? Referee says no. Tottenham can come forward with it. Oh, but Son has played it straight to Villa, and it's a foul this time by Longley on Ashley Young. Free kick to Villa. Dejan Kulusevski is stripped off and ready to come on for Tottenham, and so is Yves Bissouma. We're going to get half an hour of these two. It's a free kick for Villa, though. We're still waiting for it to be taken. Changes, forms.
Let's go.
Come on. Kulusevski and Bissouma.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Kulusevski and Bissouma ready to come on. Chelsea are 2-1 up now. Raheem Sterling again. Louise with the ball into the box and is out of play for a goal kick.
That's going to be Skip and Richarlison.
Yeah, Skip's on a yellow, so it'll be Skip. Yeah, Skip and Richarlison.
Even if he wasn't, Skip's got to come off.
Yeah. Maybe Bissouma, unless he decides he wants to put a third centre mid in there. No, I don't think so, because then why would he bring on Kulusevski? Unless, yeah, I think you're probably right. Going to stick with the formation, but it looks like Kulu's coming on. But Richarlison couldn't get on the end of it. Again, he's seeing very little impact at the moment for Richarlison.
Oh, just seen someone's just sent me a picture so unrelated to the stream.
Oh.
I tried to hold the laugh in. It was my two friends on a log flume in Miami, and you know, as you go down the log flume, the picture gets taken of you.
Yeah.
As the picture gets taken, they went in for a kiss with each other. It was bloody funny. It was so funny. Everyone else is like, ah, and they're like.
And you're here watching Tottenham in Miami on a log film. This is what you're doing.
No, it's fine. I'm loving this.
All right, you're right. Skip is off, and you're spot on with the changes. Skip and Richarlison off.
Yeah, it needs to be done. Richarlison hasn't done much. Skip's on a yellow and also hasn't done too much. Go on, Decky. Show us what you're made of, son. What do you think about these rumours of Kulusevski?
I just think that it's a lot made about nothing. To be honest, I think that there's, because of the uncertainty at the moment. it makes sense that maybe there's going to be a few rumours flying around, and also because of his drop-off in form this season, maybe as kind of you can kind of maybe put 2 and 2 together and say, well, maybe Tottenham might not take the 35 million option. I think we will, though. I don't think there's any dispute about that.
He's Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly. I think he loves the club as well. You can see that he's really taken to. Oh, Basuma's first touch, he slipped on. He's lucky. He's got the free kick there.
He definitely slipped. That was not a foul. I'm glad the ref didn't see that though.
Looked like a slip from Basuma, but looks like he's got quite lucky with it. Added some energy though. Did well to win the ball there from Ramsey, and then he completely slips. Completely slips. Oh, there's another goal at Chelsea, and it's 2-2.
Nice.
Chelsea 2, Forest 2, and Awioni again. Big moment there for Nottingham Forest, but a ball in for Porro, and Martinez drops it, and it's cleared away. Only as far as Emerson Royale to Yves Basuma.
Go on, Yves.
Yves Basuma now to Longley, back to Basuma, who plays it through, and it's Son onside here.
Please be onside.
Son is through on goal, and he's missed it. It's over the bar, and his offside flag is up anyway.
Bloody hell.
The offside flag is up again. Basuma played a lovely through ball though this time. Let's see if it was onside this time. Basuma, lovely 1-2, and yeah, would have been offside, I think. So again, it would have been offside. But he hasn't got his finishing boots on today, does he, Sonny?
No.
Played for on goal. Second 1-on-1 that he's missed. Missed the target this time.
That is nuts from Son.
Basuma, though, again, winning the ball high up the pitch. And here's Kulusevski. He's made an impact, Basuma. Kulusevski to Porro. Here's Basuma. He's in the box. He charges down into the box, and he actually pulled out the challenge. He thought the challenge was going to come in, and in the end, it goes out for a goal kick. But he's making a bit of an impact, isn't he, Basuma, early doors?
I think he's got a lot to prove. Now that Conte's gone, I think mentally he's probably gone, I'm free. Like, let's play the way that I want to play. Mason being the manager that Mason is, will probably allow that.
Or Tottenham all of a sudden pressing a lot higher up, and all of a sudden forcing some mistakes out of Villa. It's actually offside there against the Villa player.
Go on, Kulusevski. Go on, Kulusevski.
Kulu's in the box. Kulusevski! Oh! He's cut inside, and he's just struck it. I think it's struck and nicked the post at the far post. Spurs inches away from equalising here at Villa Park. Inches away.
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, my God.
It is coming. He did so well.
Yeah,
the
onside there.
On him.
Did really well. Held off Moreno. Oh, brilliant to cut inside as well. Oh, it's flashes just wide at the far post. Nearly a classic Kulusevski goal. But Tottenham, all of a sudden, with these changes, all of a sudden there's extra energy, and all of a sudden they're looking back in this game.
There's life.
There's life in this game. But here's John McGinn. Good challenge from Longley. Looking for Højbjerg, not found. Here's Ashley Young down the line to Buendia. The Tottenham fans in full voice now. But Buendia, great play by Romero this time, charging forward, being proactive. All of a sudden, Tottenham can sense something here. Romero to Højbjerg. Nice play with Højbjerg to Kane, back to Basuma. And plays all the way back to Longley. But Tottenham starting to play some football all of a sudden. Those subs have woken them up.
Only taken 65 minutes.
Exactly. Here's Porro. Looking for the run of Kulusevski in behind, decides to play it back to Basuma. It's amazing. Just like a few good moments of playing. The Tottenham fans are fully on board and full voice now.
Yeah, of course. That's just football fans in general, though.
It's like they've been quiet for the whole game because we've been playing shit, and just that's all the encouragement we need. Just like a shot.
Exactly.
Is that our first shot of the game?
Onside, yeah. I think so.
That's mad. That's our first shot of the game. Oh no, Kane had one. Kane had one when he was saved. That was our second shot of the game. Oh, nearly a through ball to Son. I think again he would have been offside, but would have been checked. Martinez with a long ball forward. Watkins. All of a sudden, Villa are struggling to hold possession. Just as I say that though, Ramsey on the left-hand side keeps it in and takes on Emerson, plays it inside to Buendia, lays off. Romero comes flying in. He wins the ball, but it wasn't that convincing. Here's Kulusevski, lays off to Højbjerg. Porro now. Tottenham playing quicker passes.
Yeah, there's confidence in this team.
All of a sudden, we've got some confidence, as Forms is saying. Here's Porro. Look at that, more possession in the last 10 minutes. 58% possession all of some for Tottenham. Longley, he looked for the through ball, and Kulusevski's the onside. Martinez, though, comes flying out and makes a little question of the decision anyway. Is there a sub? Is Villa going to make a sub now in response? Or is it another sub for Tottenham? Villa are making a sub.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we were to bring him on.
Yeah, so Kamara coming on and Bertrand Traore coming on for Aston Villa.
For Bailey and Buendia. Yeah, Bailey's not been on it this second half. The first half, he had a couple of little energetic bursts that were a bit worrying.
Duran, not Bertrand Traore. Duran and Kamara on. So maybe they're just matching that energy that we've been showing in the last few minutes since the substitutions. Emre's a clever tactician. He's not going to let it... he ain't going to let it go on for too long like this.
Yeah.
Let's change it straight away. 1,800 people watching. Big up to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you. We've got 22 minutes here. Let's get those likes up. Let's get to 1,000 likes, people. If 50% of you like the stream, we get to 1,000 likes. It takes a second to scroll down, smash that like button, and maybe if you press the button, Spurs will equalise here. So let's go. Appreciate all you guys in the chat. Appreciate all the support. Ben Davis is in behind here. Can he get there? Oh, he does get there, but unfortunately his cross is cut out by Emi Martinez. Appreciate you all the viewers, though. Thank you for coming and watching the game here with Tottenham TV. Here comes Jacob Ramsey. Ramsey to Luiz, and Villa now trying to settle a bit more in possession. Kamara is obviously a defensive midfielder, so maybe they're thinking he can help kind of contain Basuma, who had a bit of an impact in the few minutes he was on. Tyrone Mings on the ball for Aston Villa. Douglas Luiz. Come on, Tottenham. Need to get in their faces. Starting to dominate possession again.
Yeah, we just need to take the ball off them. Before we let them get...
Here's Kamara. Douglas Luiz. Plays a straight ball. Is that a foul? Everyone says yes. It's a foul right on the edge of the D from Romero on Watkins. Free kick to Aston Villa.
What are they saying?
No, not going to be a card, I don't think. Yeah, it's just on the edge of the D from Romero. Did he win the ball there? No, he didn't. Watkins got there first. Romero wasn't happy about it, but I think there's nothing much he could complain about. Going to be a free kick right on the edge of the box. Who's going to take this? Ashley Young and Douglas Luiz both over it. Both can take a good free kick.
Hopefully not today, though.
Man, I'm praying. Ashley Young over it. Fulham are leading Southampton 2-0. If that result stays the same, Southampton are mathematically relegated.
Wow.
So they're pretty much down anyway, to be fair, but that'll confirm it. They've been in the Premier League for about 10 years now, haven't they? It's a big shame.
Didn't they just get taken over as well?
Did Southampton just get taken over? I can't remember. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think they did.
What a great job those new owners are doing.
Douglas Luiz. Come on, don't concede from this, Tottenham. It's a really good position for Aston Villa.
I don't want to watch it. It looks like a fantastic position.
Yeah, it really does. Like, perfect. Douglas Luiz has got a mean free kick on him as well. 25 yards from goal. Louise!
Oh my God.
And it is 2-0. Forster got a big hand to it, but couldn't prevent it from going into the back of the net. And Aston Villa have doubled their lead, and that should be enough to get the 3 points, I'm thinking. Just as Tottenham were getting back in the game, we've gone and conceded a second. Forster, I think, will be disappointed with that, but it's a good free kick from Douglas Luiz. Perfect position. 2-0. 2-0.
Fuck.
Oh, and now they are going level on points with us. Aston Villa. In fact, do they go... What's the goal difference now as things stand? Let me see.
I don't want to know. I do want to know. Go on.
I think if they... As things stand, we're level on goal difference. So another goal for Villa, they go above us. Into 7th place. Great free. I tell you what, Forster's got to be saving that.
Yeah, completely.
He's got to be saving that. It's really poor from him. Not even in the corner. Not even in the corner.
I was going to say it was a silly foul to give away anyway, but there wasn't really much more Romero could have done. Because if he leaves too much space between him and the player can turn him and shoot.
Mm.
I want to look
That's
at the table.
disappointing. Really disappointing from Spurs. That's a big blow for our top 6 hopes, I think. Harry Kane has been booked now in the aftermath of that. Here's Højbjerg.
Spurs are on their way to conference.
Oh, man.
Tottenham's
Good
gonna
challenge
do
from
it
Kulusevski.
Oh,
And here's Kane, who can't beat Minks, but Porro with the ball through his Son.
Oh.
His touch takes him away from goal, though. Gives it to Porro. Here's Kulusevski, who's offside.
Yeah, this is fun. This is real fun.
Well, we haven't won away from home since February, man. We're so bad away from home, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and this again. What must Kane be thinking after every defeat? You get that in your head. What must he be thinking right now? And another lackluster display. Let's be honest. Apart from a 5-minute spell when Basuma came on, it's been completely lackluster today, hasn't it?
All the changes that Emery made in response.
Yeah, they worked.
Smashed it.
That's exactly. He's a clever manager, Emery,
He's done so well with Villa.
and it's a great result for them.
Yeah.
If they can keep it. We need a goal very quickly if we're going to have any chance of getting back in this game, but doesn't look like we really... I mean, Villa are very good in this kind of position. That second goal was a real killer. 1-0, I think there's a good chance we'll get back into it. Foul on Romero, on Longley. Free kick to Tottenham, or foul by Duran.
Oh, he can go back to Barcelona while he's down.
Yeah, 100%. I'm so done with Longley.
When do
Oh,
Arsenal play Brighton?
Sun tomorrow.
Okay.
So we need Arsenal to get a result, actually, which is not a good position to be in.
No.
And then Brighton play one of their games in hand in midweek. They play Newcastle in midweek.
Fine. We basically just need Brighton to bend over for everyone.
Essentially, we need them to go on like a run of losses, yeah.
Arsenal.
And we need to win the next 2 after this if we have any hope of Europa. Here is Basuma looking for Davis out wide. Bring on Perisic at this point. Maybe try and force it.
Now I think you have to.
Yeah, I think you got no... What's Davis doing there? Basuma, though, over the top to Son. And Ashley Young is there to mop up. He can clear. Kane is offside, I think. No, referee says play on. Here's Højbjerg. Back to Kane. Scorpion Fans for Life says we've been dominated tactically just as Ashmatic predicted. And Ashmatic said it before the game in the preview. That he pretty much called how this game was going to go. He's been spot on. Here's Son, though. To Porro. Back to Emerson. In behind to Kulusevski. Is there a chance? He pulls it back. And it's good defending. And the flag goes up and it's offside again. Powder TCG says we've spent the entire game offside. Laughing Mars.
We literally have.
More offsides than shots, that's for sure. Yeah. Oh, actually, he might have been kept on by Young there. I think he's kept on at that point, to be fair.
Which actually is annoying because that would have been a corner for us.
Yeah, which you've got to take what you can get in this game. Literally, I'll take a corner right now. Honestly, this has not been good from Tottenham. Here come Aston Villa.
It's one of them. You talk about Emery being a tactical masterclass over Mason, but Mason hasn't had enough time as a first team manager before to build his own tactics and to kind of know how to fight different management styles.
100%. Exactly. That comes with time.
Which is why we can't have Mason be
exactly our manager, and he has to learn his trade otherwise and then be ready for us.
Exactly.
Here's Basuma. Looking for Porro out wide. Porro steps in on Moreno and plays it down the line to Kulusevski. He's got space and he's got support inside. Kulusevski's got Son at the back post. Doesn't get the ball in. He cuts inside Moreno. Oh, and his cross is blocked. Can he keep possession in the box? He wins a corner, though. Does win a corner. Nicholas Walker with Super Chat says, we have no manager, no director of football, no financial backing, and soon to lose our legendary striker.
But we're pure vibes.
It's almost like we should be upset. Hashtag Levy out. And we definitely should be upset with how things are going at the moment.
Yeah.
Kulusevski with the corner now.
No tactics, just vibes. That was a terrible
corner out of the near post, and it's gone out for a throw.
How are you elite athletes and you can't beat the first man?
Yeah, I never understand it. It's mad, the amount of corners that can't beat the near post.
Because it's not even just Spurs. You watch any game.
Yeah, it's like an epidemic of people who can't beat the first man. It's crazy. It's like, what are you doing in training?
Yeah.
How are you not being... It's madness.
Scouts need to start looking for players that can...
Literally, corner takers. Here's Kulusevski. Emerson Royale down the line to Porro, and it's Kulusevski again in the bit of space, but he cuts inside. He does really well, Kulusevski. But he just tries to do too much.
Because there's nothing else for him to do. There's no other option.
Does really well to beat Ramsey to the ball, but he tried to do too much. Emerson wins it back, though. His Son to Porro. Only one player in the box at the moment.
This Porro-Kulusevski link-up, I'm liking.
Yeah, I am liking it. I think they're doing quite well in the short amount of time they've been on together. Here's Romero to Son. He tries to beat Konsa to it, but Konsa does well. And here's Duran, and we're all at sea now. Watkins is completely free. Oh, but Romero intercepts it. We've really thrown caution to the wind now. We're so open at the back, and that's
no.
That is oh my God, Romero's lost his head. It's going to be a booking. What is he doing, Romero?
To be fair, I shat myself because I thought he'd already been booked.
Yeah, true, which is a fair assumption with Romero.
Yeah.
Andrew Dean with the super chat saying, this may be my wish moment, but this loss may put Nagelsmann back in this ENIC board and Levy's target list. I wouldn't bet on it, mate.
No.
Phil says complete clear out of these serial losers, including Kane. I mean, I think we need to do everything we can to keep Kane, but
yeah, agreed. We're a relegation battling team if Harry Kane isn't
100%
in this squad, especially with Son's form this season, Kulusevski's form this season, all of our injuries.
John McGinn with a free kick now. To the back post, and it's just cleared away just about. There's an appeal for handball, is there? Don't know if VAR are checking.
Bloody well hope not.
Nice ball by John McGinn. Oh. Sorry. Just checking the United score. Still 1-0, 10 minutes to go in that game.
Yeah, there's no handball in that.
Danjuma is on.
For Porro.
Porro off.
Sick, so that's proper
going all out. Vibes. All out attack. McGinn. Here's Douglas Luiz.
Is that a
God knows. It looks like so Emerson's now at right back,
and Kulusevski's gone.
Oh, Ramsey pulls it back and it's away. Here's Luiz to Moreno. Trying to work it out. But here's Luiz, Kamara, and away. Romero's looking for options, and he's forced to play it to no one. Kulusevski trying to beat Moreno to it. It's out of play. We don't look like getting back in this game, do we?
No.
Basuma.
Tottenham Hotspur, man.
Here's Davis. Højbjerg.
You're offside, son.
We can't beat this high line, man. We just can't do it.
No, they've smashed it.
Here's Longley. Son. Come on, Kane. Doesn't keep it in. It's throw into Spurs. Basuma now.
Dare I be the one to say there is still time left?
If we can get one quickly,
Yeah.
but we just don't seem to be able to do it quickly.
But if you smash the like button,
Exactly. If you do smash the like button, though, I do think there's a good opportunity we could get. I think that's why we conceded a second. We didn't
Yeah.
get to 1,000 likes. Come on,
what are
guys.
we on now?
500. What are we on? 557. Come on, guys.
Cool.
Let's get to 1,000. We can do. Only 25% of you need to like the stream.
Easy.
25%. It takes 1 second to scroll down and hit the like button. And come on, guys, we can do it. 25% of you need to do it. Who are watching right now? We've got nearly 2,000 people watching. It's corner to Tottenham, though.
Oh, we love corners. Go on,
Heung-min
son.
Son. Son Martinez with a really good claim, to be fair. Right into Martinez's hands. Tottenham Hotspur.
Does this mean I've got to take the Champions League theme music off my playlist now?
I think so. I think it's about time. I should have done it a while ago.
Should have done. I just didn't want to let go, you know.
We can't even sing Bentancur, He's the Reason anymore.
We can't.
That's it.
He's the reason.
And we can't sing You Play Thursday because you're fucking shite anymore. That song's gone. It's all gone.
Yeah. I mean, we can change it. We can say, well, watching Tottenham on a Thursday night. You play Wednesday because you're better than us.
I'm sure that'll catch on.
And now I'm clinically depressed. Oh, what a night.
Oh, man. You definitely have to be drunk to sing that.
No, hell yeah.
Oh, God. This club is going to be the death of me. Here come Aston Villa, but they've given it away. Romero has it. Højbjerg. Duran with a foul. Spurs have a free kick inside their own half.
How is it we can come back against United and Liverpool? We can't come back against Villa.
It's because we're so bad away from home, man. We are just atrocious away from home. Here's Højbjerg to Emerson. Come on, let's get a goal back. Just get something to celebrate. Kulusevski. Oh, Kane's in behind, but I think Martinez. Oh, Kane wins it. Oh, referee says corner. Referee says corner. Kane did get there first, but I think Martinez might have got a touch on it. I guess Martinez is complaining. He wants a booking. He wants a booking for a dive. Well, he's already on a yellow,
Yeah,
Harry
please
Kane.
no.
He's on a booking, Harry Kane. Is he onside here? I think he's sure it's a close one.
He's close.
Who gets there first? I'll tell you what, Kane gets
Kane
there
does
first.
get there first, but then if it does go to VAR, they'll look at whether he was offside or not. Kane does get there first. That's a pen.
Oh, I mean,
If he's onside, that's a pen.
VAR is checking it. I'll tell you what, Martinez takes him out. I don't think you can say that's a foul.
It's
That should be a
100%
pen.
foul.
That should be a pen.
The only drawback is if he's offside. If he's on, then cool. And then we got a game on our hands. Are they mentioning offside at all?
They're not at the moment.
Cool.
He does kind of go over though, Kane. Is he going down already? I mean, I think it's a foul. I think it's a foul.
It is a foul.
Wait.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, now they're looking for offside.
Penalty.
Serious?
Apparently, it's going to be a penalty.
Let's go, baby.
1 sec. It's a ref. Apparently, he's going to send the ref to the monitor. The commentators are saying that they're hearing from the VAR. He's going to recommend a penalty.
Okay then. It's on.
Oh, they're checking now. They're checking offside. I think
Yeah.
now they're saying. Now you're saying it. Yeah. 1 sec. It was a tight offside call.
Really tight.
That's what they're checking. They're saying it's a penalty. They're just checking if it's onside or not.
Got it.
Onside.
Onside?
Onside.
Yeah,
Yes,
baby.
looks like we're going to get a penalty, people!
Let's go. I mean, I'm not getting too gassed. It's 3 minutes left and we haven't scored it yet.
No.
But...
Looks like Spurs are about to get an opportunity to get back in this game.
Oh, he's gone to the monitor. He hasn't given it.
But they're gonna recommend it whenever they go. It's usually a
Yeah.
penalty. It's usually given. They don't send them unless they're going to overturn it. Essentially, that's how it usually works.
Point at the spot.
Well, he's actually having a long look at it, isn't it? Come on, don't be that one ref who won't overturn it. Come on,
Yeah.
don't be him. Don't be him. Is he going to give it? Penalty!
Yeah, baby, hit me.
Come on. Penalty to Spurs. Harry Kane is over it. We're 2 minutes plus normal time remaining here at Villa Park, and Tottenham have an opportunity to get back in the game. Martinez, who was actually calling for Kane to be booked for a dive, has given away a penalty.
Send him off.
Come on, send him off. Send him off, ref. It was a bit silly from him, to be fair, to be
Yeah.
diving in there when it wasn't going to score.
It's a very Lloris move.
And a booking there, he's booked someone. Mings, I think. So, a lifeline potentially for Tottenham if Kane can score this.
I'm taking the hoodie off and getting the shot.
Come on. Come on, Harry.
Do your thing, H. Come on.
Let's get back in this game. Could we snatch a miraculous draw?
What would this be? His 27th?
27th goal of the season. It's madness. It's mad how he's got these numbers. If he scores, come on. Harry Kane against Eddie Martinez. Eddie's the wrong way. Come on. We're back in this game. Harry Kane has scored. He sent Martinez the wrong way, and Spurs have 30 seconds of normal time plus stoppage time to save a point here.
All right, let's do it.
Come on, are we making another sub? Are we throwing caution to the wind?
Let's do a Steven Bergwijn Leicester away kind of vibe. Let's get 2.
Harry Kane, good penalty, right in the corner. 2-1 here.
Let's go. What's everyone saying?
Powder TCG says, I'm assuming we tie off a free kick. Lucas Moura comes on and gives the ball straight to Villa and they score, right? Probably how it's going to work. There's Villa also making a sub.
I think that was Cash, no? That they were bringing.
Has he come on already?
No, he was standing on the sideline. We brought Perisic on, though.
Perisic is on. Good. How many minutes?
6.
6
We
added on
take
minutes here. 6 added on minutes here at Villa Park. Can we snatch a late draw?
Come on, score in the next minute and then
We
do
did it
again.
at Anfield, although he gave the ball away straight away.
Yeah, but Moura's not on the pitch.
Matt Cash on for Ollie Watkins. They're going uber defensive now.
On the bright side, that goal, if it does finish like this, that goal means that we're not level on goal difference anymore.
Correct. We're now one ahead of Aston Villa. Very good. All the positives.
Yeah,
Come
goal
on.
difference. Go on, get off the pitch. There you go.
So,
Come on, let's go. Spurs.
come on, Tottenham. Can we force a draw out of this? One of the most unlikely draws you're ever likely to see.
It's such a pathetic sentence. Can we force a draw out of this? Honestly.
I know. That's where we're at.
Well
Emerson.
done, Emo.
Oh, a brilliant nutmeg on Ramsey and gives it to Basuma. Here's Romero. He lumps it forward, looking for Son, headed away by Konsa. It's a foul, surely. Yeah, foul by McGinn on Højbjerg. Tottenham can take it quickly. 4.5 minutes remaining.
John McGinn. Come
on, take it. Yeah, it's got to be a foul.
I mean, Højbjerg didn't need to go flying, but yeah, it was a foul. Come on. Somebody make a run.
Here's Danjuma. Perisic, who's just arrived onto the pitch.
And they're going to be so hard.
Kulusevski now. Come on. Do we have one moment left in us? Kulusevski to Kane, to Basuma. Can he get a ball in the box? He's giving it to Kulusevski, who nutmegs Ramsey, but Moreno can clear. Throw into Tottenham.
That's what I like about Kulusevski, though. He is not afraid to take a man on.
He'll try things. Basuma picking the ball up. Here's Longley. Perisic now. Danjuma, can he take on Matt Cash? He gives it to Perisic, who can line a cross up. He does. Harry Kane's at the back post. Mings can clear. Only as far as Danjuma, who swipes at it really recklessly. And it's away. Longley lost it. Duran is on it.
No way in hell.
Duran, can you beat Højbjerg to it? Højbjerg does really well. He covering ground. And here comes Emerson. Longley. He goes long. And Perisic again is in space. And Kane's completely free if he can find him. He goes for him. Oh! Misses him. It's Kulusevski now.
Come on.
Kulusevski on the right hand side. He shoots. And it's over the bar.
Why are you shooting?
Over the bar from Kulusevski. Oh, Perisic has found all kinds of space already in the few minutes he's been on.
Oh my goodness.
What a
Kane
chance.
was so there. That was so
I just couldn't play in front of him. Just behind him. Oh, man. No. Sec. Oh, BBC Live text is buffering.
I love it.
Oh, man.
That darn live text.
Oh, man.
Oh, come on. All right, we're good. Villa goal kick. And offside, Villa offside.
Come on, Tottenham.
Tottenham free
Can we
kick.
just force something?
Come on.
Oh, it's been unplugged. Oh my God. One set. Here's Perisic. Come on, can he force another opportunity? Perisic to Basuma.
Oh, sling a ball in.
Basuma to Danjuma. Can he get a cross in? He's given it to Son. Emerson's now on the ball. Emerson to Kulusevski. Whips one in. Basuma's at the back post. He's overhit it. He's overhit it. And it's gone out for a goal kick. Oh, 1 sec.
A minute left. I mean, are there any positives to take from this?
At least we had a bit of a fight back at the end, but again, it's like we got a penalty, which probably was a penalty, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's been a pretty poor performance, to be honest.
Yeah.
Overall, we've had a few moments during the game, but I think Villa have deserved the victory. It'll be really harsh if they don't win this game.
Yeah, completely. But absolutely jokes. If
At least there was a bit of a fight left in us. Like we didn't completely give up, which I guess is positive.
Yeah.
And we did get a goal back, but again, it's Harry Kane like getting a goal back. But
that fight in us,
probably
by the
do
way, I
nothing.
genuinely think is Mason's doing.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. He's definitely rallied the team. You agree? Oh, is that a foul by row foul? Come on. Come on, just play on. What's going on here? We're in over normal time now.
Drive.
So we're 6 minutes are up. There should be about another minute because of subs and stuff. Come on, got to get the ball forward. Romero, I think Son's offside. He's through on goal, though. Yeah, I think he's offside. I think he knows he scored.
Go on,
and
Son.
the flag's up. The flag's up.
Guide.
Unless there's a mysterious onside here.
How offside was he? Like,
he looks really offside.
I'd rather him be really offside, because if it was tight, I'm gonna be annoyed.
Son has scored with a 1-on-1, but is he onside? I tell you what, is Moreno keeping him on there at the back post?
I don't think so.
I tell you what, it's tighter than I thought, though. It's a lot tighter than I thought. I think it's offside, yeah. I think it's offside. They've given it. Ah, shame.
So gutting. What's United ended?
United's ended 2-0. They've scored in the 90th minute as well. Garnacho with the goal. All the other games have ended. Perisic now with the long ball forward. Is it full time? Not yet.
Throw the ball and drive.
Oh, shut up, ref. Take it back. Just take the throw.
Come on, please. Yeah,
And it's full time. Full time. It's finished. Aston Villa 2, Spurs 1 in a very, very damaging defeat in terms of our Europa League chances. Very, very disappointing. We're going to do... shame. We did thought maybe there was a chance of a 2-2 with that goal right at the end of the game, but it is offside against Heung-min Son. And unfortunately, it's something that's probably what we deserved, but we will get into the instant match reaction very, very shortly.
Sing it with me. We are Conference League, so
We are Conference League. We're still above Villa, so we still stay sixth after that defeat with Brighton playing tomorrow. But the chances of us getting Europa League are now really, really slim after that defeat, it has to be said. But let's get into the instant match reaction. Yeah? Recording? Yeah. All right. What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Spurs have lost 2-1 to Aston Villa here at Villa Park in what was a very important game for our Europa League chances. Goals from Jacob Ramsey and a late free kick from Diaz gave Diaz? No, what's his name? Not Diaz.
No,
Douglas Luiz, sorry, Luiz gave Villa a 2-0 lead with Harry Kane scoring a late consolation penalty where it looked like maybe we might get back in the game, but it was too little too late. I'm here with Forms to talk about this game. I mean, it's a really disappointing result, and I think at the end of the day we kind of have very few complaints with the result, can we, with that performance?
Just tactically outdone. It was a Unai Emery masterclass. They played the offside trap and it just went purely to plan for them, and there was nothing we could do. We couldn't break them down. We were forced into playing long balls. We spent the majority of the game offside, and the only way we could score was through a Harry Kane penalty.
Yeah, essentially. There was like a 5-minute period as soon as Basuma came on. We had a couple of moments. Kane had a chance. Kulusevski had a chance. That was at 1-0. And that was probably the moment to strike while the iron was hot.
Yeah.
That was maybe the moment to score, and we didn't. We couldn't get those chances converted. Villa then makes some subs. They do score that late free kick, which I have to say, Fraser Forster really has to be saving. Very, very disappointing. Gets a big hand to it. And that's probably one of the most disappointing moments from him, considering he's been pretty solid since he's come in, but he's got to be saying that, hasn't he?
100%. I mean, he is massive. He is massive. There is no excuse. I think his vision was probably clear, and he's got to do better. And it's just so frustrating because it was, again, we conceded the first goal in the first 10 minutes of an away game, and it's like, when are we going to get to grips of going to an away ground and just getting into a game? Like, why is it every single time we have to concede to then go, oh, okay, we're playing a game of football here? It's the Premier League. I don't get it.
I mean, third away game in a row we've conceded inside 10 minutes, which is ridiculous. Jacob Ramsey obviously giving Villa the lead in the first half. And let's be honest, that whole first half, as much as we were out tactic and stuff, and we had a late rally, we pretty much wasted that whole first half. We didn't have one shot at all, not even on target or off target, not one shot. The only chances we all did have were all offside. We spent pretty much the whole first half and majority of the second half offside as well. I mean, that first half was probably what cost us the game in the end, because that second half, it was pretty even, you would have to say. We had some chances, they had some chances, and it could have gone either way. But first half was where the game was lost, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. But then again, I think that's more credit to Emery and Villa than it was to us, because there's only so much we can do when they are so tactically on point. And we've seen it time and time again throughout this season. When we're overrunning midfield, we just struggle so much to break down defences, and that was the first half of proving that point.
Yeah, and there was another situation again where Spurs in possession really did have very little ideas, especially in the first half. Like, all we had was to play the ball over the top and try and find Kane, Richarlison or Son on the run, and it was really difficult to do. In fact, it was so difficult when we didn't manage to do it at all.
And 9 times out of 10 it was Kane that was playing those long balls in, or trying to play those balls in. So I mean, you said it during the game, if Harry Kane could pass the ball to Harry Kane, perfect. We'd probably be top of the league.
Exactly, it would be all right. Probably no issues. I guess of the very few positives to take out of this game, the performance was bad, but I thought Basuma looked bright in his cameo. He did come on for about half an hour and definitely took some responsibility on the ball, was asking for the ball a lot. He was playing some really nice passes into the front line, was trying to create things. So that was a positive. It was nice to see him back after so long.
Definitely. I think it's always nice when you see subs come on when the energy is low and just pump energy into the team. That's exactly what Kulusevski did as well. But yeah, it was nice to see Basuma back and being given that freedom to kind of do what he does best. Take the ball, find a player, give him the ball, run.
Exactly, and it was if he seems to be a player who's been lacking a lot of confidence this season, which clearly when a player like Basuma is high on confidence, he's an extremely exciting player on the ball, even in a central midfield position, and that's something that we've lacked a lot. And he definitely brought, I felt, some quality, and maybe I'd like to see him start over the next 2 games potentially from now to the end of the season. Kulusevski had a bright cameo as well. Probably did more than Richarlison did in his time on the pitch. Did well to take people on, and should have got that shot on target, which he had later on. Although his effectiveness did seem to dwindle later on in the game. But when he first came on, he was a bundle of energy, wasn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I think, yes, Richarlison scored against Liverpool, and he's got his starts as a result of that, but I think that it's time for Kulusevski to slot back in. Or actually, give Danjuma the chance, but we know realistically that's not going to happen. So Kulu has got to come back in over Richarlison just because he gives something that is different. And plus, when Kulusevski's on the ball, you're not A, worried that he's going to be offside, and B, he can take a man on and isn't afraid to either ping a ball in or shoot on target at least.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. In terms of like the overall picture with Ryan Mason, there's been a lot of talk about him potentially getting the permanent job and him talking himself up. Obviously, off the back of some decent displays we've had under him against Man United, against Liverpool, and against Palace, putting some good performances. Would you say this was maybe the worst performance we've had during his short tenure?
Yeah, this stint, 100%. But that is because you've got a manager like Emery who is set in his ways. He's got his own philosophy. He's had years of experience at high levels, whether it be Premier League, Champions League, La Liga, wherever. And you've got Mason, who has had 2 really short cameos for a club that is in dire trouble both times, and it's not been enough time. It's not been the right situation for him to go, okay, let me sit down and go, this is my footballing philosophy. I've got enough time to implement it with the squad that I've got. So it was a battle of tacticians, and in this case, the tactician beat the lack of experience.
And I think that's pretty spot on. I think it was very much a tactical battle, which Unai Emery had a plan for us, especially when it came to making sure that our midfield players weren't getting the ball at all. Skip and Højbjerg saw very little of the ball during the game, stifling Harry Kane, especially when he was in the forward line in that position. When he was coming deep and kind of picking up the ball, he's hard to track. But even then, he was pretty well stifled. Kane saw very little of the ball in the final third. The high line, I thought they were playing, catching us offside every single time. It was the perfect tactical switch. And I think Unai Emery definitely won the tactical battle ahead of Ryan Mason. But I agree, it's harsh to criticise him because he's the only experience, hasn't had the time. But do you think maybe it puts a dampener on some of the, I would say, tepid calls for him to be permanent manager? Do you think this kind of pours cold water on that potentially with that kind of performance and result?
Yeah, I mean, tepid's definitely the right word. Like I said before, he speaks so highly of the club. He's Tottenham till he dies, and I absolutely love the passion. However, he's just not what we need. We're not new to the Prem, ready to take a chance on a manager who's got fire in his belly. We are in a situation that no club wants to be in. We need to be yanked out of it, not even taken out of it. And so we need someone who has got some kind of experience under their belt to come in and do exactly that.
100%, I agree with you. In terms of where this result leaves us in the table, we're still 6th, but we're now level on points with Aston Villa. Aston Villa's last 2 games of the season play Brighton and they play Liverpool. So not easy games for them. We play Brentford and Leeds. So in terms of that Conference League position, I mean, we're still in a fairly decent position if we want to finish against Aston Villa. I know it's not much to shout about. If we would have won today, that would have passed 6 points clear of Villa and they would have been out of it. So definitely Villa are back in the equation, albeit they probably need to get at least 4 points, you'd have to say, in those next 2 games. Will they do it?
It's unlikely.
It's very unlikely they will. Brighton as well. We're now 2 points ahead of Brighton and they have 3 games in hand, albeit they still have to play the likes of Arsenal, Newcastle, Man City, and Brighton and Aston Villa as well. So they have some really difficult games to come. So nothing can be taken for granted on their point of view.
Yeah.
So I guess what I would say is Conference League is still a good chance we're going to get it, even though we've lost today and we're level on points with Villa. Europa League, obviously, it really hurt our chances of getting that today, but I still think we have an outside chance given Brian's tough fixtures. But how do you see it? Do you still see it? Do you think our chances of top 6 died today, or do you still think there's an outside chance?
I think we have the most favourable fixtures out of the rest of the teams competing. So, yes, we've got that in our favour, but at the same time, we're Tottenham Hotspur.
No, exactly.
So,
we need, can you trust us to win? We need to win 2 out of 2, basically.
Yeah, without question. If we so much as drop a point in the next game, that's it. It's done.
We're done.
It's done. I'd even go as far as to say if we drop a point at all in the next 2 games, then we might as well kiss Conference League goodbye as well. Because yes, Brighton have got difficult fixtures, but Brighton are also a very good team that know how to hold themselves. Having said that, they did just get battered by Everton. So it's like it's the business end of the Premier League where literally
weird results happen at this stage. You just saw earlier Leeds 2-2 against Newcastle.
Yep.
You know, weird results do happen at this time. So that can work in our favour and against us, because in a way you don't rule out Brighton beating an Arsenal. That can happen because they're that good. But then as well, if they do what's expected and they drop points in those games, it does leave us with a small window where maybe we can snatch out that top 6 spot even with the defeat today. So I don't think it's all over, but I do think we're literally clinging on right now by the skin of our teeth, essentially.
Without question. I just hope, and I really sincerely hope that at some point something kicks in, and if whatever competition we're in next year, we just take seriously. Yes, the last time we were in the Conference League, it didn't go our way. COVID happened. Well, it doesn't happen, but happened. I think we can't take something like that for granted. And even if it means playing players who would be considered B-team players who come in and have so much to give, rather than playing players who might be a bigger name player and a little bit more complacent. But then again, we've got to make the competition first.
Exactly. There's still no guarantee we get European football now. It actually, in a weird way, as much as we still have a decent chance of getting European football, this loss today for sure increases that chance we don't get any European football now. So the chance that we do finish 8th outside with Villa and Brighton both beat us to it, it's not completely beyond the realm of possibility that can happen now with today's results. So Villa, for sure, that result will definitely... they needed a bit of a pickup because they'd only won 1 of the last 4. The form started to slip, so that was a big result for them. That's really putting them back in the picture now for a European spot.
Yeah.
But for Tottenham, I guess it's still up in the air. I guess we have to win the next 2 games. That's it. And if we win the next 2 games, it gives us an outside chance. If we win the next 2... we go on 63 points, right? I do think that'll be enough to finish above Villa. Whether that's enough to finish above Brighton, they'll need 8 points then out of the next 5 games.
Yeah.
And the 5 games they have are, where are they? They are Arsenal, Newcastle, Southampton, Man City and Villa. Are they getting 8 points there?
And 3 of those 5 are away.
Yeah, are they getting 8 points there? It's difficult. They could, but it's difficult. It's unlikely that they'll get 8 points. So I guess it's still open for us. It's a bad defeat, a bad performance. We're going to have to play better than this if we're going to get that Europa League spot. We're going to have to beat Brentford, and Leeds are very much probably going to be fine for something like last day. So winning on the last day at Leeds ain't going to be a foregone conclusion.
No.
But it's not all over. Who was your man of the match today for you from a Tottenham point of view? It's tough to pick one, isn't it?
It's so tough.
No one really had an outstanding game.
Not really. I mean, there's a cool, other than that first reckless challenge, Romero put in some decent challenges. And other than the free kick, Forster had a decent game. But I can't
Kane,
call
maybe?
a man of the match.
Kane did score and maybe had a few through balls which are offside.
I guess,
though,
Kane of every player on the pitch was doing the most in terms of dropping deep and getting forward and doing everything that is required of an all-round player like Kane. So I guess, cool, yeah, I'll give it to Kane.
I guess I'd agree with that. I mean, I can't really think of a player who really played outstanding. To be honest, I thought everyone was pretty below par during the game. And I think Villa, I don't even think Villa were brilliant, but I think they out-tacted us, and that's what they had to do. They were as good as they needed to be to beat us. And that was reality. But look, that was the watch-long for Tottenham against Aston Villa. We'll tune in very soon for the post-match fan show, which we'll be bringing you very, very soon. It's your chance to have your say on today's game and whether you think we're going to get Europa League. But Forms, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me,
me on the watch-along. Much appreciated. Appreciate your time. Thank you for all the viewers for tuning in and watching the watch-along with us. Thank you for all the super chats, all your likes. Appreciate all the support for the channel. Really, really does help. So big up to everyone out there for tuning in. But we'll see you very soon on the post-match fan show. Like, subscribe, and comment below. And as always, come on, you Spurs!